SAFRB doesn't improve the budget.
Oh, true.
Because my salary's high enough. Hey!
So you're working for right now?
You're in
That's Monday. By next Monday.
No.
Isn't that when the fiscal year's over then?
Yep.
Yes.
So you don't get paid after that.
Oh, boy.
I'll give it.
She'll talk back.
Yeah, this is gonna get her money.
No matter what.
If you go ahead and actually just refresh the dashboard, that'll be set.
Refresh?
Okay, so I'm changing 10,000 to 6,000. There's a 33,000 charge next. Coming up.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to call this meeting back to order at 1:51 p.m. I'm dying. Following the same precedent, are there any objections with 6,000 for registration fees, 6,000 for lodging costs, and 7,500 for travel costs?
How many people are going to this?
20. 30.
Wait, so where is it?
And it's a $200 charge for students.
Oh, so then
Texas.
we're back at nothing.
And neither national nor society.
Operator.
So since it's a $200 charge for students and they'll be pumping 6,000, I suggest we do the same thing and cut lodging and travel costs in half.
Yes.
Wait, you said that?
Yes.
It's okay,
Said
let's
that.
just keep going.
I said, are you okay with funding registration fees at 6,000, lodge costs at 6,000, and travel costs at 750?
Oh, yeah,
4 hours left.
We're all recovering the tragic fire alarm.
Yeah, I was about to
Traumatic
die.
experience.
Thanks, Scott. All right.
19. It's 19.5? 19.5.
Wait, what happened to my spreadsheet? No! Oh, shit.
Control Shift D, man.
You can't go ahead and type that doesn't see.
It's all for other stuff. What? Okay.
Alright, moving on
That was
to
such
policy.
the annual comment. Wait, so did we are done with that?
I believe so.
Okay. So we're on it, right?
Is that right?
Yeah. You confirm the ECS fees of 605. And anytime they got 100 people, they are requesting 100 merchandise and giveaways. Any objections to striking that? Hearing no objections. $800 for food and drink. This is for their. I can't remember.
Social media?
That's thing depressing how the event.
Oh.
Unfortunate Molly.
Yeah.
They give you a date for that shit.
We don't ask for dates.
Yeah, they don't know about.
We ask for dates.
Whatever it is, it starts at 6 p.m. We know what time it starts, but not the date. Who did, what is? Did you do this last year? They're new-ish? They're new.
Yeah, they're new. They're about a year or two old, probably.
Do this? No, that is not. I'm not sure. Check box, just to update it. I don't think it's gonna be. Out of box. What kind of numbers are we doing? Do we have a contract with food?
They're giving us this. Ooh, my house is free.
Ooh. How did that happen?
Just the good things.
Yeah, they'll send us a contract.
I don't see it in the box either. Oh, merchandise and giveaways, it says that the merchandise won't be served at the event. They include NSA t-shirts and will be distributed to new club members if they attend at least 3 meetings.
That they can cost that.
The Valley Student Association doesn't have anything on the.
Everyone's got stuff else. What is that?
Oh,
no, this is New York, we are having
It's just like that.
calculate the.
We did make, I think we're gonna make
It's a
the.
lot. We should go through and like.
We did.
I mean, maybe we're gonna have to, if you want to do it,
Yeah.
you can do it through at some point, like after.
Yeah, I can't,
We have said that.
Are there any objections to funding ECS fees as written?
We left it for
No.
everyone else.
I'm good with it.
they're not astronomical.
What are your
No,
votes?
no one was asking.
$800.
Don't listen to the haters saying.
How many students
You're
are
not
there?
really here.
One.
Hello.
$800 for food and drink. Are there any objections?
So rude.
No.
No objections.
They have no off-campus events, so on-campus is 1405.
Yo, who's gonna see tourists or the tour?
I already saw it. Oh, man.
Oh.
It's on Thursday. Yes. it's
I wanna
there.
see the end of this meeting.
I can't believe I get a fourth movie, it's actually pretty.
Alright, come on.
Their off-campus event, barbecue and wellness talk. They're expecting 15 on campus, 30 non. They're requesting decorations, dining ware, food and drink.
We can only fund the 180 activity.
Is that, yeah.
Yeah, they're requesting 15.
Yeah.
Take you to, like, nursing homes.
While providing great food.
So is this,
To the primary benefits.
yeah, that's my question. That's a question you gotta ask if you.
Primary benefit of this is for senior citizens. Performing community outreach, it's teaching habits, but the primary benefit of this is not these professional students.
What qualifies as other?
That's for competition.
So
The
it's-
travel, like this. So like we go have trips for like museums or
Yeah.
parades. I wasn't sure if it was strictly off campus or anything all other.
It's either on campus or the 3 sections on campus. Alright, decorations at $20. Actually, let's just look at the whole thing right now. In terms of, do we want to fund this event considering that it's not primarily active students?
I think
Maybe
that's
like a
the
whole
matter
club
perspective.
Good point.
But like, the estimated non-UMBC people is like 60 compared to the 15 that's going, like, it's definitely overwhelming going to like senior citizens.
We're making food ourselves, which starts a community outreach tool, barbecue there. It will be posted on my UMBC as an event.
No shirts, right?
But they appreciate our time, so.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I will fund this.
Do you see this as a charity event or as something for the students? What do you think, Zay?
I mean, I think I consider it something closer to like Slash, where it's like, yeah, like a service opportunity more, but like it provides an opportunity for UMBC students to go out to the community. So, I mean, I would be opposed to funding it, but I mean, I think some other people had some ideas about it.
Sorry, what were you saying? What you got?
I was just saying because not just like the
Yeah,
off the
take it all at once. Consider it as a whole, because that's the kind of person in the organization.
So this is a new organization also. We were funded in the fall last year. And something that this reminds me of, that Scott and Zane will remember, is that UMBC. So it sounds like, yes, it's the purpose of their club and some start-off fees, and just some context for last year to kind of keep it, I think, comparison is UMBC the conversation that was had with them was that funding their bi-weekly, weekly, monthly, whatever they are, cooking sessions wasn't going to continue because it was just helping them start off as an organization. I don't know if you had that conversation whenever you were reviewing UMBC, but to me this seems similar to that, as if them trying to get their club off the ground. Just something to keep in mind.
We funded other clubs that have weekly costs, like Rock Climbing Club and Kathy Retrievers for their items. So I don't see how this would do much good for them, except that the primary beneficiary is not.
Well, these are
It's
consumable
a
items.
4-to-1 ratio.
Right?
Yeah, the
so
rock
much.
climbing and Calvary retrievers are,
Not consumable.
they're reusable.
Yeah, I think this most closely would reflect on the same as UMBC. It's the purpose of their group is for them. It is more holiday based specifically from what it seems like, but just something to keep in mind as far as how finance board has looked at things in the past, or if you want to change that model.
UMBC was tabled, so whatever decision we make here will have to impact UMBC as well.
I mean, my main thing about it is just the ratio. And that's like sort of what I like consider like a 4-to-1 ratio. Like to me, that's pretty important when I consider this. And it seems that way for each event.
Thoughts?
I guess, yeah, I can see how it definitely like goes with UMBC, and it's like if we agree to funds, then it's kind of like, I don't know, they're gonna start expecting. And she was also expecting us to just continue moving.
So if it is something that you decide to do, or like on the same basis as Chu was, hey, we're gonna help you this year, then you gotta start figuring out how to fundraise on your own. That was a conversation that was had with them. Whether they do that or not is obviously out of everyone else's control. So if that is something you want to go on the same path of, that same conversation needs to happen with new friends of yours and not just in this room.
Those are thoughts?
I mean, I think the difference with that is even if we like say like, oh, we're gonna help you like get it off the ground, that doesn't change the fact that like next year, like it's still gonna be mostly non-UMBC. It's still gonna be like the population is still gonna, that's gonna be definitely still gonna be non-UMBC students. So I think like do we even do we want to help get them off the ground if it's not for UMBC students? If it's not, well, we have to more decide. And like as of right now, I'm leaning towards saying that no, just because I feel like it'll set like a more dangerous precedent for other clubs. If we're saying like, because we have to prioritize, I think, UMBC students.
I'll understand the conversation. UMBC students are only providing food for 12 UMBC students at the standard rate that we provide in every other group. And we have to consider the amount of off-campus participants in any of that. So, this is not used to it for one club. And we cut it down to 180, which is an excellent refunded for the amount of people attending. If I think the only reason
But you still said the primary beneficiary seems to be mostly towards non-UMBC students, right?
Like the club's
Yeah, that's
primary
and
benefit,
like-
not the-
I don't think we've seen a ratio like this huge and like gap between like students and non-students. So that's why it's not just undue, it's like there's a little bit more. I understand what you're
What's the
saying.
magic ratio number? Where's the more?
I think you're kind of getting into dangerous territory with that. I think you can make that argument for every single club that you go to a conference, or any of the service groups. I think this is just really the first one you're having this conversation about. And the borders could have the same, Splash, UMBC, which you haven't gotten to yet, is going to have the same exact conversation. Granted, Splash comes to campus, but it's still the same thing. I think the bigger question you all should be asking is what is the benefit of the UMBC students that will be there as well?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that everyone gets to work before we go through. This is going to be a vote measure. All right. So on the funding of these 3 events, either going to be in full or out of all? Or would anyone like to add in an additional option to that?
Does everybody think it's a service work? Is this a charity event, or is this for the students?
If it was charity, it would be donations. Charity is usually some sort of fundraiser.
I think why would it not be considered a service organization? Because I mean, like, they're going to help with small citizens feel. Right, I don't like not under the other. Yeah, that's true. Also, what was some of the service organizations that probably just has engineers, developers,
Probably some others, but that's the first one.
maybe we do that.
Best Buddies. Black Lives Matter is technically a service group, but they're, I don't know what they're, but yeah, I wasn't here for those ones. Circle K. Lemonade for the children. Greenpeace is service.
A lot of these are
Yeah.
Does everyone kind of have an idea of how they're going to vote, or if they want to set now, or do you would like more time to discuss the debate? Alright. Hearing no objections, all in favor of fully funding new friends of yours for their events, please raise your hand now. All opposed? Now be funded. That's the precedent will be set for their services.
And that's where it's we're the primary
We're the
beneficiaries.
primary beneficiaries.
Now, is that going to be specifically off campus or on campus as well? Because this is specifically an off campus event.
On campus, zero, and on last year. Okay. Did we fund our costs?
Last year, no, I don't know if you did phone Red Cross, but I don't, last year you did.
Last year, we
But
they submitted for events, but they didn't submit for their contracts.
right, 'cause they're like, if we'll talk to it, but then it's fine, but,
Which they were. Alright.
But,
New friends of yours can get to zero.
Yeah, we did fund Red Cross and we have 50 this year.
yes.
Alright.
But what, is that the same for the kids as it was last year? So if this is gonna be across the board, that's something you're gonna have to consider.
In the meantime, food for thought when we have to do our class amount. We can reevaluate this precedent, see what's realistic. But for now, Outdoor Recreation Club, they have their end of the year social. They're requesting $400 for some giveaways and $150 for food and drinks.
End of the year social.
Sounds like a party for you.
Yeah, so like a last GDM meeting kind of stuff.
It says it's a general one.
Yeah, so all in favor of Mason?
Is there on-campus event too?
Yeah, on-campus event. Off-campus event, fall hiking trip, they're requesting $50 in travel costs, $20 in food and drink.
Should all three hikes, these things.
I believe so.
Will not be listed
Yeah, so we'll be voting on these as a block.
As in,
Wait, you're not
Post
posting
on
on
IMC
IMC because they don't know how to post an
So
So
the
that's
city,
your case.
where are these nights are?
Yeah, one's Patapsco, Cedar Park, Great Falls Park,
We make a note about it.
and possibly South Mountain State.
What's South Mountain?
Yeah.
What's South Mountain?
No idea.
I mean, like, South Mountain?
Yeah.
Borough.
Oh, hey, maybe Zane will know about it. Zane's.
It's in Boonesboro.
We have one.
Mine's not working.
It's
Oh,
not
really?
a school. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, Chris.
Alright, so for this off-campus event, they're paying each driver $5 in gas money for transporting people. That's what this means. We assume the average driver is age of the high 40s, so you can grab enough to get 4 people to do it themselves, meaning 10 drivers.
Hi, is there, have you ever been to South Mountain State Park?
Have you ever been to South Mountain State Park?
Yeah.
It's in Maryland, right? It's in Maryland, right?
Yeah,
Alright, cool, thanks. So,
So we're not paying them for gas money.
But
so the thing is, we can pay them for gas money. There's just a certain, like, the distance.
But they're asking for less than what you would pay them.
Yeah,
They're, if they're having 4 drivers,
they don't have 10 drivers.
10 drivers. Right.
there's like
To,
nothing.
this is to which, to where?
People.
The first one is,
Tabasco. Is that 40
Yeah,
people?
Tabasco.
Pretty sure. Why would I don't know, like, that's just like a, just like, make
yeah, first one is Pasco State Park, second one is Great Falls State Park, third one is to be determined. But they don't have a fifth number, it's not.
Yeah, so Tabasco State Park is 7.3 miles away.
We'll keep it record for when we actually. Whatever.
So you're gonna have to break out your stars for yourself. For other things.
I know objections to this, and this will be
Yeah.
the less we can fund people, so that we can
Yeah.
actually, the less
Yeah.
individual
Well,
arbitrary.
so I'll
ones.
tell you, so the per mile reimbursement for the state of Maryland is 58 cents a mile, right? So,
Yeah. That's not.
so there would be $4 and some odd cents, and then back would be $4 and some odd cents. So it'd be about $8.40, it's like $8.50
The closest one?
for Patapsco, $8.50. That's the mileage reimbursement.
60 miles.
But they're asking for far less than that.
I would come back
Is
with
it even that?
But then, yeah, but like, I don't know how they would get reimbursed.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do it.
So they're,
Yeah.
So we've already, kind of like, under one organization, we have to take into account like gas. And that was, anyways, about borders.
Well, what I'm saying is that you can approve them for this money, but then I don't know how they're gonna figure, and that's on them, how they're gonna figure out the reimbursement part, because they,
Don't they have those forms set?
Yeah, but
Well-
if you submit the form, then you have to submit to request what you get for that drive. So like, we could say, yeah, we'll approve $50, so each driver gets $5. But if they wanted to then access that $5, the form they submit would have to include the amount they drove.
yes, but then.
But it won't add up.
But it's gonna be
It'll be less. but
it'll be more than what they're allocated.
Yeah.
And so, if they're fine with that,
Well,
I mean,
the
it
whole
doesn't
point-
matter if they're fine with that or not.
The whole
That's what it's
point
gonna be.
of giving them, this budget is so we don't calculate the exacts for them. If they want $50 for travel, they can figure it out on themselves.
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
not our job.
That's true.
This is within a reasonable limit. I think we should just run all the, to the next one.
The next question I have is for food and drink, which is $20. It's listed in the executive summary that the food and drink section is just water bottles for the hike.
I mean, I thought we weren't funding any off-campus food or drink at all.
There you go.
Alright.
That's true. That's what you're saying.
Also, $20 for people that have a whole lot of water.
Yeah.
It's like a case of
What's like, yeah, the room is
For
like
water.
$3 for like 20.
you can get like a 35 times more.
Super cheap.
It's straight from the tap, bro. I don't even pay for no flowers.
It's a mountain.
Are you talking about the
Don't
building?
delay.
Tap the trees.
Alright, so all in favor or not?
No objections to.
So are there any objections to fully funding travel costs of $50 for these three ones, but mixing food for these three things?
Nope.
There are no objections. Alright. Scott, 150 for total discount.
Done, done, done.
No one else taking movies.
You're doing 50% of travel, right? I'm trying to write out the estimates on lodging and travel.
Lodging and travel is going to be
For
50% for
conferences.
conferences.
Conferences and competitions.
We didn't decide competition.
Oh, you're gonna just, oh, you're right, you're right.
Is there anything else that, no off-campus food and drink, 50% of that, no funding for groups that are serving a different population than UMBC students?
And no funding for merchandising giveaways. T-shirts will go to us, anything else going to go away to everyone else.
And merchandising.
Maybe that's the end. And if we don't have like the location, we don't.
Oh yeah,
If we
if
zero
a group
out.
has failed to submit an off-campus acknowledgement form for an off-campus event, well, that's just part of our statutes anyway, it's not a precedent.
Yeah.
Alright, Overwatch Club for Overwatch tournament number 1, they would like to request $75 for merchandise and giveaways and $120 for decorations.
That's an expensive giveaway.
All in favor of mixing giveaways? No objections? Cool. Decorations, $120. Any objections? Alright.
And then $5 for competition?
Yeah, $5 for competition materials, any objections?
Are the decorations a giveaway?
What does it say?
Decorations that the students could take home after the event.
I feel like that's just like.
Overwatch
just
related
like-
items.
I think that's more so them saying they're not reusable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
cool.
students can grab it at the end, but if the primary purpose of it is decorations and not giveaways, then it
Yeah.
doesn't count as that.
That, I think that was more so based on conversations finance board had last year
Oh,
with
okay.
questions of decorations.
Oh.
I don't know if pins are more decorations than that.
Pins?
Stickers and small plush toys.
Unfortunately, the way we set the budgets, we don't really determine if they're decorations or not decorations. We can micromanage down to that level, but I'd rather not, because in that sense, there's no way to do that for me. Alright, so for funding the tournament at this level, are we all comfortable with funding the second tournament for the same amount? $5 in competition, no merchandise or giveaways, and $1 for decorations. Or the requesting $30 for decorations for the second tournament. But are there any objections to that? Hearing no objections. Tournament 3, same thing. Any objections? Hearing no objections.
Just so you know, they have in their executive summary that top 3 players will receive a prize. It could be anywhere from $10 to $30.
That's probably from our merchandise and giveaway section.
Yeah. Okay. So it was just in the third tournament. I didn't know if it was in the budget for that.
Yeah, merchandise giveaways were a thing for kind of all of them, but we
Okay.
mixed all of that. Okay, so number 4 is an Overwatch viewing party for the Overwatch League Grand Finals. Requesting $30 in conversion materials and $116.96 for food and drink.
Which one is this?
Overwatch viewing party.
Is this the event they're co-hosting with League of Legends and Smash?
Nope. That one's for the.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's done here because they're just contributing people if I remember correctly. So, are there any objections to? Right. Any objections to fully funding this event? Hearing no objections.
Oh wait, which one?
This is the viewing, one of the viewing parties. Should I hold for you, Scott?
I wonder just don't have any audio visual sound or anything.
Yeah.
So last time they had
What
the
happened?
viewing
Why
party.
is it 85? Why it turned red?
I don't know, because it's reported on.
Last time they had the viewing party at engineering 027 and they just said that they'll be moving to a better room, so I'm guessing they would just be
Well, if they don't
using-
request anything.
using.
Alright, can you check on any ECS fees for the viewing party for the Overwatch World Cup?
Yeah, I
That's
can't,
the
let's see if they have
We have
those
access to that.
See if they're
security.
So if it's under a certain size again,
They don't have to report anything.
they don't have to go to grid. So if it's over 70 or 75, one of those two, then they go through grid.
Oh, for
The
people or
world-
money?
hold on, it says
Alright,
CS.
awesome. That's easy.
Their student marshals is awaiting approval. CS. They're trying to do it in up to the way.
Alright, well, are there any objections to the $30 common vision materials request? Hearing no objections. They are requesting $220.40 for food. Are there any objections to that? Hearing no objections. $85 for security. If they don't use it, it comes back to us. So, any objections? Alright. Other one student marshal now, you're really great. Halloween event, scavenger hunt. They're requesting $30 for common vision materials. Are there any objections?
No.
Hearing no objections. They're requesting $30 in decorations. Any objections? Hearing no objections. Okay, so number 7, first week open house.
Listed as a general body unit.
Open house, alright. Oh yeah, that other person we don't want to. And no off-campus events. Alright, Scott, great, do some math. Equals 60 plus 335.4.
335.4.
Yep. Plus 146.96. Plus 155. Plus 155. Plus 125. Good.
It's not doing that.
There you go. The pagans
Zane, what are you doing?
Huh?
Zane.
Making sound.
Alright.
Are you good in there?
Oh wait, I think it's at least
Come on, Zane.
Got 3.5 hours.
Alright. Everything. Sam Haines celebration.
Who?
This is
Sam
for a
Haines.
pagan student.
Oh my God.
He's
that
eating
what
his
it
demon.
I say the person.
Sam Haines celebration. Costing $25 in common vision materials. I'm interested to see those. Any objections?
I don't have any issues with the.
Alright. Decorations at 50, dineware at 50, food and drink at 100. Are there any objections to any of those?
No.
Hearing no objections.
Some food will be reserved for the altar.
I'm a
Yeah.
So, which will offer?
It's not ours. To the side, though.
The Yule celebration. 25 for common vision. Any objections?
No.
The decorations, dining ware, and food and drink are the same amounts as last time. Are there any objections to autofilling? Hearing no objections.
Workshop 1 only has the words.
Workshop 1 is a GB
3 and 4 are both listed as GBMs.
all in favor of nixing?
Make a note to help TSC with my UMBC. Because they're in the process of making.
Did you write that down?
Anything my UMBC pages that they're making, leave that to me and Courtney, or everyone is required to, and we're in the process of that right now.
Okay.
Gucci.
So take away the 275s at the end, but everything else is fully funded?
Yep, so this would be 225 plus 225, which is what we're looking for. Paksa.
Oh my god.
Paksa night. ECSVs for this one.
Yep.
In the meantime, all in favor of nixing, or is everyone okay with nixing merchandise giveaways?
Yeah.
Alright, they have a $6,000 contract, but in the meantime, decorations at 200 and food and drink for 500. They're estimating 300 people, so they don't break any barriers.
How many people are you estimating?
3,000 or 300.
What's the contract for?
Is it for like
For an artist?
Who? What? I don't know who it is. I'm excited to see that.
Tag?
The artist.
They haven't even artists.
They're bringing in
They're just barely under their $35.
So the setup,
Who is
can we look at common vision fees?
Yes, of course.
This also is the 33 just for on campus.
Yes.
Yeah, so the setup fee, they have 71, audiovisual 710, security 780, marketing, you know, that down there 250, housekeeping 522, ticket staff 330, and then what's this? I don't know what that $25. They have $71 in a fee, but they have $25 here, so they're down.
Are there any objections to funding these ECS fees as written? Hearing no objections. Decoration contracts, $6,000. Any objections?
I'll wait mention.
Yeah.
Alright, what's your objections, Dave?
I think it's a little. Does it explain like how many like entertainers or how many?
No, there's a DJ and the main performer.
Yeah, the contract is for the main, for one performer
we're good at making this.
of $6,000. Looks like they are a rapper. A Toronto-based.
Drake?
If you can get Drake for
No.
6,000, I think there's.
They're a Toronto-based Canadian rapper and songwriter of Indian descent.
Oh my god, it's a Pratik. Wait, hold on.
Wait,
Ooh.
because
Pratik. Wait, he's not a rapper.
No,
Hold
that's
on.
not it.
Wait, is the name there?
it's not.
Yeah,
Wait,
F-A-T-E-H.
Association.
F-A-T-E-H.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
bringing the Canadian.
Bape?
Cultural.
Maybe 6,000.
Bape saying.
In the meantime,
That's what it is.
200 for decorations, 500 for food and drink. Are there
Yeah.
any objections to
No.
those?
Born in Thailand.
Go for it.
He's not even a
Whoa, one extra zero there, buddy. Oh, good pranks.
Alright, are there any objections to the $6,000 contract at this point?
Not yet, no.
Should we give like 1,000?
We can cut it by how much we'd like to later establish that as a precedent for contracts over a certain amount.
Doesn't directly go
Yeah, I just know that like we had the funded contract that high before. And I'm also assuming that they like don't actually have a contract with the person yet. So, like they usually don't on this either. But yeah, I don't know, it just seems like nice to me, but I don't know what everybody else was thinking. I don't think I heard anybody else say anything.
Yeah, we might look back over it at round 3 and look at making like a percentage cut for contracts over a certain amount. We'll establish a number at that time.
Okay.
Hello, 10. Alright, so Scott, the final number for Paxa is
906.
906.
It just shows T and then Z.
Ah,
Because it's not gonna
if
show
this was
you.
you, we could have seen it.
You're not here.
This was you, could have seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm still in there somewhere.
That's a plus.
Philosophers
Anonymous. They have Philosophers Anonymous barbecue and movie nights discussion.
Plural? Okay, it's a departmental organization.
Oh my gosh, this takes the explanation of it then. Philosophy is not something limited to eggheads and after tax. Okay.
If each regular member brings a friend and a half, it justifies the number of attendance.
A friend and a half.
I wish I had a friend and a half.
So.
Justifies their attendance of 30.
I guess.
They set a range from 20 to 40, so it's on, oh, the 30, yep.
Well, you said that you used the lower of the range, right?
Yeah, did they put a
But we, no,
Well,
we
they
used
put a
that.
range on the executive summary.
We only used
but they
the
don't
number
have-
on the estimated attendance.
Okay.
We need to make a precedent, at least when we make a note that these two numbers should be the same, we should make that clear when we fill out method form. But for now, we'll go with the 30. Are there objections to the $20 for a setup?
I don't know where they were.
Yeah.
What are the rental terms?
In the meantime, we'll at least do this. Common vision, $50. Any objections? We can cut common vision about $10 for every car. We just save so much. Decorations, diningware, food and drink at $250 total. Any objections to that? Or any subparts of that?
No, it just says for dining where it just says went to grocery store and calculated best price to quality to quantity ratio. It's of dining.
But, yeah, that's only for dining where it doesn't
Yeah.
say anything about
It says for food, just says other food.
So zero rental, not everything else food.
Are there any objections to that suggestion?
And then
Hearing no objections. Alright, anything on the setup for 20?
Are there circumstances where an event will just have a set of
They're
these?
probably just like moving chairs around for the museum. That's what I would guess.
So are there objections to funding that $20?
Like is that a thing? Are there events that just have set up?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, because, okay, you just went on
Yeah, so they're going to object, or they might just take the
Place.
Yeah.
Is that good and spicy or you don't?
Yeah, so 320. Free Dance Society.
Ryan, run away.
It's a Google Doc. What the hell?
Good job.
what?
No, it's a PDF. Did you
Oh.
click open with Google Doc?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I have to be able to.
That's why I
edit
said
it.
Google Doc. Hello.
They have
I
to-
can't edit that.
Oh my
But-
god, it's like shit.
You can download it and then
We
put
should
it in
have
Excel
that.
and then re-update
You're
it.
not thinking.
I don't know if that'll work, I'm just guessing.
No,
It's only registration for others, so.
Export it and, like.
Oh, I can't do that. I'm
No, go to the file itself and try to open it as a
Okay. I'll say you ran away.
Where's Scott?
Bathroom.
Scott, now let's pee. Let's see if we
open with, oh, I don't know if it's gonna work. Open try. You turned it. Open with pie chart. It's okay.
Nope.
Office 16. Oh.
I ain't gonna look.
Yeah,
Would be quicker probably, just to copy one of those sheets from a different group and rename it and fill in what you need to fill in.
Yeah,
It's true.
that's true.
Yeah. But they also only have one thing they're requesting.
Which makes it even easier.
Just. Hours of delegation. Did you handle that?
And a one.
I think that's a no.
I got it.
I can,
Okay.
I was looking at it.
could you,
Let Tori do it. We all move on to the next one. How about that?
Alright.
Tori does, yeah, let Tori do it.
We lost.
I'll say we can just talk about it based on this.
Let Tori do it. And then bring it back with that.
yep, I got it.
Because otherwise we have to come back to it.
Community law is like,
Pre-law society, 25, 600.
Maryland Care School of Law Information System.
What is their?
School of Law.
$60 for the weekend.
Have you already searched about like what information sessions are like specific majors?
I mean, it was when we were comparing it to the accounting club. Yeah.
And we're looking for of what they will request.
Well, are they requested food?
Yeah, all the time.
They're
It's requested
requesting giveaways.
food and giveaways, so we decided not to.
What does
What's next to those
their,
giveaways?
yeah, what does their, executive summary stand for?
No, just two of them.
Yep.
Its purpose of merchandise.
Presentation of a speech by the Maryland State Law School, started the school with their goal and the plans of law school in the future. They will food for us speakers and guests. Presentation will be an hour 30, and involving the board thanking the guests for choosing the law society new improved goals for any UMBC in the future. The event has happened before. Municipal refreshments.
So there's 3 speakers and information sessions and 1 health and craft for members.
Yep. We also have preference schools with members.
It says it's a general body.
Yeah.
What else?
Oh, staff.
Yeah. Alright, so for the school law information session, is there any information on those ECS schools or not? Alright. Is everyone okay with funding ECS fees as written?
That's what we've done.
$60 for the room rental.
Oh.
Sorry, can you say that again?
We're looking at Pre-Law Society, their first on-campus event number 1. And the question is, funding the ECS fees as written.
Well, I guess for the room rental business, we were at back to 25, but then the rest of it we did funded
Yeah.
as is.
Alright, so, let me do this real quick. Alright, is everyone okay with approving these fees as currently written?
Yes.
And it also represents giveaways, all in favor of Nixon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Requesting $60 for food, $60 for rental materials.
Microphone and.
Wait, doesn't that include
Yeah,
audio
that
visual?
should be in their AV package.
Yeah. So, all in favor, are there any objections to funding food and drink and then zeroing out rental materials?
No objection.
Scott, you did?
On giving rental materials?
I'm zeroing out the rest.
Zeroing out rental, but funding food and drink.
Yeah.
Alright, next on campus event. Criminal Justice / Civil Rights of Baltimore City Talk. Same thing as before.
Yep.
All in favor of funding ECS fees with a cut to the room rental fee of -$5. In addition to at the bottom, funding food and drink and mixing rental materials.
Yep.
Cool. That goes down easy. University of Law Information Session, same thing, 66, 60, 30. 30 for merchandise and giveaways, nixing that, reducing room rental fee to $25. Funding food and drink at 30, nixing rental materials for 60. Any objections?
No.
Hearing no objections. LSAT practice sessions, they were listed as GBMs, were they not?
They were.
I'm sure what
Why are they requesting CSVs? Alright, you're
They have, I mean,
90 non-official.
Alright, any objections to zeroing out this, given that this is GBM?
Oh, thank you.
Bless.
Alright, Scott, you ready? Are you ready? 235 plus 265 plus 415.
Dental, I searched the link for dental for you.
You're
Dental, but I'm all over peeps.
Thank you.
It's an off-campus.
It's
Huh? Joke's
Oh,
on you.
yeah.
It's not.
They have their off-campus one for this one?
On the acknowledgement.
Yeah.
That's what
I forget, 'cause I think one of the clubs did.
That was you, I think it was Peter's sister. When we get to
yeah, that takes the wall.
Yeah, they did.
They did? Okay.
Wait. Nope, I lied to you.
They didn't?
Our relationship is built on trust.
I mean, I was honest and said that I lied, so. In my defense, I didn't know I was lying until I opened the form, and then I realized it wasn't true.
So you guys can find anything?
Let's see, unless we go.
Scour, let's scour through the form.
Could be considered.
Oh wait, this form is not very big.
Got some answers around here.
What is the name of?
The ICCA.
Shipman. Okay.
Whoa, I did not see Shipman's name.
Look, we did it.
Shukran.
What is it? Bob.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I don't see this.
I don't
Yeah,
see
you
them
can see
either.
that in Arabic. It's like, do you speak Arabic?
I don't see this one.
Nope. No problem.
Oh, sad face.
Does that mean
You don't fund, you don't fund it, that's the precedent you sign. And by precedent, I mean, that's what you're.
It's not impressive, it's a rush, there's actually 16.
so I'm entering in 0 for pre-dental?
Yeah. We should already wrap it up.
I really glad I took the time to pre-make it.
Pre-farm thesis?
Can you edit? Do you have editing access? You don't have editing access?
Nope, it's only you.
I thought I had it for
Ah.
SGA, editing access.
Give it to it, Lori.
Look, there's my power.
I'm so glad that Josh is still here.
Take Daniel off. Hello?
Whatever, don't worry about it right now.
I'm giving editing access to SGA's mailbox. It's there now.
Forever and ever.
Oh, sorry.
Free Farm Society. So, Free Farm Society, on campus event 1 is a social.
Provide its members an opportunity to learn more about the world of pharmacy and connecting with other pre-pharmacy students. Sounds like the main goal is for the members.
Well, that's
It's-
the description of pre-farm.
Marketing and merchandise. This event will be marketed to pre-pharmacy members only.
Yeah.
Oh.
Say hi. Great.
What is up with you today?
So,
I want to
because it's only marketed towards free farm students,
tell social.
It's okay, it's not hyper, like, yeah. Maybe I don't freak out.
that's fine, no worries.
Nikki, what's up?
Sorry.
It's just gonna happen.
Wow.
Alright, so because it's only marketed towards free farm students, which I mean, I don't know why they market to anyone else.
Yeah.
Free farm.
So members or pre-farm students?
Yeah. It says pre-pharmacy members.
That's different.
only.
Yeah.
and builds connection with other pre-pharmacy students. So I feel like they're using it maybe interchangeably.
That's also.
Or as a recruitment tool.
That's
Yeah.
also on the same place. They're all good.
I like cut one, but fully fun too.
Oh, that's good.
So the first event is
What's the
a
other
social, but the second event is also social.
Are they
Yeah, but it's in
collaborating
collaboration
on
with a
these?
different club.
With like HapCon?
With who?
Was it?
That was another.
That was a different one?
Which
Okay.
one?
Half
It's
the-
in collaboration with
Is this in club?
Why would-
This is in partnership with pre-nursing.
the other pre-allied health clubs.
Yeah, pre-allied, the other on-campus event too, they're collaborating with pre-nursing society.
Alright, so are there any objections to nixing the first event but fully funding the second event?
So we're getting rid of the first one because it's a.
It's like members only.
It's,
Okay. But didn't you say it was being used interchangeably?
They
So
might
it's
be
just
using
like
it
it's
interchangeably, but if the wording that is said from marketing committee to pre-pharmacy members only and not students only, then we have to go by that definition, okay? Which is that it will be, even if that's not what's happening, if they didn't make that clear for us.
Alright.
I don't want to assume, but since that's more work for us. And then everyone's okay with fully funding this event? Thanks, Ed.
Zane is okay. Thanks, Zane.
okay, what is next?
I'm relinking things.
So
I
it's
don't think that one was linked actually. It was
175.
It was like a comment, it was a comment.
for pre-pharm. Initially,
What?
Limited is there.
The Women's STEM event is in collaboration with Will, CWIT, and Computer Education. By the way.
So did we already touch on some of the C-Word?
Well,
Well,
CWIT
see what
is
we
not.
knocked out.
We did, yes.
Why did Real Talk submit more than one executives?
That's, it's not the only.
That's
but
the
a
Real
lot
Talk
of
right there.
people.
Yo, real talk? Why did real talk do
Okay.
that?
Tanya, the previous vice chair. is her name now.
Alright. so-
80, what's 8 times 12?
960.
More than
960.
So ECS fees, they've got 40 for roof rental and 73 for audiovisual. All in favor of funding with room rental being 25 and audiovisual staying 73?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Or actually have 80 because they must be staying 70. Did that?
Oh, so what?
ECS.
Well, I'm sure we did. Possibly.
I don't know if it will be underneath reach or CWIT or I don't know what other.
Well, are there any objections to funding television materials at home?
So CWIT and what else?
CWIT, Will, and computer education. I'm guessing computer science.
Moving on to the merchandise market, or not, labor materials, the interjection for finding decorations at 200, dining we're at 185, food and drinks at 400.
$200 an item for $400 of food.
Yeah,
I'm sure
why
about
are they?
Where are they ordering
people
from? Is it
buying
they're providing?
plates?
Yeah, go to the order. It's fine
They are ordering from Charles. It says, yeah, for the official
Well,
women's
Charles
STEM
provides
event.
stuff,
though.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Okay, you're out of dining.
Says Charles. Alright, let's do it now. Dining wear,
So how do they-
or fund the rest.
Like, everything online.
I couldn't find anything. They have a, I mean, there's orders have a bunch of stuff in the system, but I couldn't find a way
Alright, 73 and 25, are there any objections to, oh, God, whoops. Are there any objections to these numbers as is? Moving on.
The last 3 events are GBMs, or classified as ESM GBMs.
Wait till we get to the last 2 events. Just hold on for a second.
No, those are like the last intro week, STEM workshop, and January com are classified as
Your presentation workshop.
presentation.
We'll go through it.
Those all be
That's
Yeah.
also a GBM.
So, confirm, everything from introduction week and all 3 workshops are listed as GBMs and we get or something.
Yes.
Alright, all in favor of just zeroing them all out?
What is this
What?
Wait,
Sorry.
Scott needs some takeaways.
I think I took nothing away.
Oh, for the gender empowerment workshop. What are they requesting?
Alright, Scott, so for women's STEM, we're proposing to be 718.
Is that reach?
Yeah, reach.
The total for all 5 events as well?
We only funded one of them.
So what is it?
Yeah, we only funded one of them.
718.
Real talk.
Real Talk has 3 on-campus events.
First docket event is just ECSC, which is 124 setup for value of BC. It's clever name. Any objections?
No.
Hearing no objections. On the other one, 2, they're requesting the Hunger Simulation Banquet. They are requesting ECS fees for 118 in audiovisual and 25 for setup. Wouldn't have enough for quote, so I'll be objections to these numbers as given. Hearing no objections. $200 for Common Vision marketing.
Yep.
$600 for food and drink. Any
That's
objections?
exact?
Sorry.
That's exact for 50 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When in doubt, max it out. Last is
So let's not make that.
Halloween store circles, 26 for setup. Any objections?
Right, what is on-campus event 3?
Yeah.
That looks good. Or probably move the chairs for a second.
$100 for how many students?
25.
Okay.
Any objections to fully funding this event?
Nope.
Alright, Scott, time for some math.
Didn't they, that was just really fun.
146 plus 943. I don't know why I did that before, but I did that.
Yeah.
Fully awake.
Okay.
That's right. Finance major. We're
Should we just have an definition?
Yeah, math minor.
On-campus
Alright, RMS event number 1, they're simply requesting $250 for common vision materials. Nothing else. Any objections?
What is it for?
Open mic night. True Music Society was UMB's. They just changed their name to
They did?
Rebels.
Oh, definitely.
I know. I asked them to change their name, but they're trying to stick. UMB's just kind of received one genre of music, and they are one everyone musically, whether that's
Oh,
I see that. No, I
into
hear
the
that.
beats or not. Yes, whether it's the type of beats or other type of beats.
All beats.
Or they're rare beats.
So,
They want them.
250 for, so
They're
for
all,
each
are
event?
they all?
They're all
open mic nights?
requesting.
The only thing they're requesting is,
One's like a talent show,
What?
like house DJ.
yes.
So they'll try the rest of that, they're just necessary for marketing money. Are there any objections to fully funding this entire thing?
Are they GPMs?
It says no, I don't.
It's 6 on-campus events, each with a single common vision material.
The purpose is,
On-campus event 2 is to attract students to the public.
So it's a recruitment event.
well, I mean, that's what they've written in multiple.
So that's what they wrote in all of them. The first one is an open mic night. The rest sound like talent shows.
Anyone can do it or do it.
Can anyone do it?
Now, if you got any talent,
I mean, I could do it.
Should you is a different question.
Yes, should.
So,
Let's fully.
You wanna vote?
yeah, given everything, is everyone in favor of fully funding all 6 events for the $250 competition request?
You.
Hearing no objections.
They're all named the same except on campus.
Except the last one, which is called Emo
What?
Emo day.
Emo Night.
We ended, oh, true.
Is that what
It's all
knows.
planned and then it gets.
It's all like, oh, this right here is RMS event number 5.
They're like already reading.
Emo night.
They're so great for it.
I'm gonna go to that one. Get my pants up.
It was.
You know why?
Why?
So
What?
you can see
It
my
was
pants.
cute.
Why am I laughing?
Stop, this is
funny,
bullying.
Nikia.
Alright,
So 1,500 fully.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't tag me.
Retriever poets. Let's give it to them.
I clicked on the wrong one.
Well, gotta go back.
Oh no, I clicked on the wrong one.
You do the same thing?
Survivors Open Mic Night. They're requesting $100 in food and drink, $31 in audiovisual. Any objections to the audiovisual?
No,
30.
It's what?
It's in coordination with We Believe You, so I don't think they have something in.
When we get to We Believe You, we'll come back to review the policies.
Yeah, they have 75 is the estimated attendance.
My bad.
Okay,
That's my one.
open mic budget.
Well, we'll get back to the.
Yeah, we're just gonna-
What's the difference between these two? Are they just having multiple open mic nights?
Yes, but one in partnership with. We Believe.
what is an audition?
That's it, yeah, audition for like their competition that they go to. Which
Do
one?
we fund audition?
Well, so it's an event, it's like a competition on campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is for their Cup C audition.
Well, so it's called Cup C Audition Slam, so it's like,
It's on.
so it's an on-campus, like, what is
It's
it?
a
So it's a competition, but they'll be using
Slam
it
the hardest
as
to
like.
go to.
Yeah.
And like, yes.
All these.
Alright, are there any objections? It's $31 for audiovisual and $100 for each of the open mic nights. Are there any objections to fully funding all of those?
To the open mics.
No. They're good.
Okay,
Open mic is
four.
open mics.
Yes, 4 open mics.
Yeah.
Y'all should have them send you the dates so that you can check them.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I was like, come on, man.
Our liaison has to sign up on their ResCast to do that for us. Your liaison has to sign up on their ResCast to do that for us. That's fair.
I have to do a sign
Yay.
Yeah, so that's a whole other conversation.
And that was just a thought that got into my head that made me really upset.
Alright, Liam, are they fully funded?
We still need to do for the audition slam. They've got 83 for audiovisual. Are there any objections to that?
No. Oh my god, they're requesting tickets that night. Oh,
And then decoration of the 60 and food and drink at 200. Are there any objections to those two? Alright, moving on.
Oh, you thought we were on robotics, and I was like, how do you just go through that fast?
So, fully funded.
Yeah.
Oh, robotics will not be fully funded.
Okay, so, decorations.
They can only request $660.
They can only request $660.
Okay, then that's what we will.
Sad.
I think you want to tell me that. I think objections to fully funding the decorations at $660.
You can give that to them.
They're
Brenda,
pretty
you look
clear on
shocked.
where that's coming from, right? $33 a head, 20
So
per head.
what stops someone from just like, just putting like, we're having.
I mean, I think that if there's something questionable, you can say, well, let us know who the people are, right? Like, you have, just because you don't ask for it doesn't mean you can't ask for it. After you do.
Typically, we go to the events to check them out to make sure, and if they like reported 100 people, but only 2 people show up to the event, that next year they're not going to get funding for it.
This is nothing like that, so we have to figure out how their talks are, I guess.
And we will provide punishments if we are lied to.
So something that you might want to consider for the next form, the next semester, is creating a space for groups like this that have to request supplies. So whether that's going to come out of on campus or off campus is obviously a different story, but making sure the form reflects in some way or the other.
Yeah.
Where they can, and obviously that's a much bigger conversation right here. It's something to think about.
Yeah, well, that's been a lot to do that first couple of meetings. That's 660.
We already all.
Rush?
Nice common sense is better than everything.
Just
Don't tell
read
me.
it. Where
I'll take wingdings over common sense.
Yeah.
Okay, $22,000. Watch this. You ready? I went last year and they were just students making them sit on the edges and having all the tables reserved for off-campus pupils.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
tables
just stand
are
up.
like Russian.
If you were sure, you can stand up.
Russian too.
So if there's 150 students at $33 a head,
$4,950.
Say that again?
$4,950.
is the max you can.
Oh.
2 hours after students.
What room is 5? Hello? Can we get a check on this BCA? Because that's ridiculous.
That's not. Look, let's see, is it in here?
It's the event
I'm
center.
sure it is.
It's not.
What is the ballroom, right?
For who? For 250 people?
I mean,
Have you seen them all?
no, but I'm saying, I think,
Is it playing like a shadow?
is that exclusive?
Do we have anything where, like, they can't do that to UMBC students again, though? Because, no, we're at the manhandler from the edge again.
We can put in like a request there, stuff saying, we'll release the funds to you under this condition, and if this condition is violated at the event, then this event will no longer be funded by finance for it. Because then we will have a 2-year record of them not prioritizing UBC students for UBC event. So we're just gonna say, this event, unless you can somehow prove to us in this year that it is for UBC students, then it will not be funded in the future.
They can ticket UMBC students under this entry, though.
Yeah, but they're gonna be able to take UBC students. If the same setup is there, where the tables are, if UBC students are sitting at the edge, then I actually think we're gonna make it simple to top, and we'll set that with their funding. If that is happening, then you will no longer get funded by
Because the beauty will save the world.
Yeah, this is the same one as last year, and that's where they have it.
I texted Britt and asked if they've met with her yet.
Because
It doesn't look like it.
No, there is a ballroom, so.
Okay, so should we pass legislation saying UBC students must be prioritized?
Yeah, we can talk about shares package.
I would say on campus events, just to.
Yeah, well, first of all,
But leaving student legislation.
Okay.
yeah, I'll have that be, so combination materials, 500, well, we can drop that to 250, any objections?
We can fund like part of their fees. Oh no.
So,
Wait, so we're prioritizing competition or just
I mean, it's something that we typically do first. So for
Or something that
ECSBs,
we know the amount to, I guess.
we can drop the rental fee from 5,000 to 25,000.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
That's just straight shit.
Yeah, and I can't even, I'll you pull up what, because
Yeah,
they
you
don't
pull
have
last
any,
year's
they don't,
numbers.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Their food max is 1,800.
1,000 bucks per night.
What kind of contracts do they have?
Yeah,
Because
So,
they have, it's just a series of Russian performers doing like fancy stuff.
I'm looking at.
Their
Maybe
contracts
over
are gonna have to be something, obviously finance board doesn't monitor them, but monitored closely.
Because I'm looking at the
There's a lot
club
of
you
issues last
collaborate
year.
with.
There was? How come?
And like the club.
Legal legalities
Oh,
and
say again?
stuff.
Can you be more specific?
Sure.
I don't remember
Was it with the-
specifics.
Was it with the, like, the singing group?
There was some, it was the singers or the dancers, and they wanted someone to be paid that wasn't on the contract. Like they wanted the money to go through a
An
third
intermediary.
Yeah, like a vendor or a third party or something like that, and that wasn't,
Specifically.
That's not how
That
it
came
goes.
up in the meeting.
That's not how it goes.
yeah. So, I mean, that was on them for not putting on the correct person in the contract to be paid, but it was a very big thing that happened last year, and they always have a ton of contracts.
Well, we're not gonna come into the contracts, so that's okay.
So they said they're not co-sponsoring it with anyone,
They're not.
but they also said it will be collaborative DJ club, photo club, theater club, art club, and Capella.
All Capella hasn't gotten any requests for. But it also says that they will most likely be hiring / paying DJ club and photography club, so
Yeah, that's
it
what I'm saying.
doesn't seem like they've determined who they're reaching out to.
No, it's everyone.
And they can't
I
hire,
promise you.
they can't hire or pay those groups through your funds, so.
That's what I was wondering about. the
So last
contracts.
year, their setup was 500, well, this is from, their,
Yeah, you're right.
it was $548 was their setup. Their audio visual was 11, this is from last year,
Yeah.
1132. The security was 204. The housekeeping was 302.85. They had front of house staff at 420.
420 for ticket staff.
It was front of house staff, I guess, this is from last year, so I guess ticket staff.
420.
Yeah, that would've been-
So, I mean, their numbers are not far off. It's that room rental fee that's like ridiculous, and I don't know where that's coming from.
Everyone okay with zeroing out campus life operations fees?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, what they are requesting is not far off from what they've had previously.
With this local exception.
Correct.
Something you might wanna keep in mind as far as campus life operations, they didn't put anything in security. No, they have zero in security, so I don't know if you wanna not like be nice or just nix it.
Oh, we're not nice.
It's fine.
I was gonna say, you know, considering the
I just-
current climate, they might just beat all the street thing.
Well, obviously security, just given that there's a really large number of people attending the event, I think it would be a good idea to. Because there's just so many people.
Yeah, but
Because
we're not
that's-
allowed.
They didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
My only thing was if you wanna like cut it in half, but like I said, that is not something you have to do. With the campus life
That number
operations.
is
They
zero.
can't hold the event without.
Okay.
Yeah, they so they need to find the funds somewhere else. Well, they need to find the funds for a lot of this somewhere else. But if they didn't request security, we're not giving them security. Because they do not want to set any kind of precedent whatsoever where they get more than what they asked for.
Correct.
It's not happening.
Okay, so setup will be increased to 400?
Well, I mean, yeah, so these are just the last year's numbers.
Yeah, last year's.
So this is not putting up this
So
here for
that-
reference.
Okay.
It'll be, do we want to match these numbers over here?
Dang, your mouse is lying like
Yeah, they have not met with Brett, even though she's asked them to multiple times. That's awesome.
So 400 on, stop. 400 on setup. Okay, and then everything else is under, so I would put the rest.
Well, these are last year's numbers. So I
Right,
can
right.
confirm that for this year, and that would be great.
Oh, so that's what they requested this year.
Yeah, so how much of
Well, wait.
this do you want to fulfill?
We put everything up to what it was last.
No, that's, yeah, but one on the right is from last year.
But, yeah, what
We use the smaller of the two, right?
no, you've been using, if,
Oh,
what.
okay.
It's only if words met with them. But I was just putting those numbers up there for reference, because she was listing them out, so I want to see what the differences were.
Oh,
side by
because they
side.
would
But
roll.
this would be,
As we're taking it in a lump sum
You
to
cut through
David.
campus life operations and then.
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. Oh, because you said it rolls back if it's not.
Yeah.
So I think so that's it for that. They can request up to how much again?
What are we at?
So they
Four
have
thousand
another,
nine hundred and fifty.
Okay, I would put the rest in included.
are there any objections to that? And you do the math for how much is left.
Oh,
4950 minus 3675.
3675.
Yeah.
1275.
Which is almost their cap for food. Their
Yeah.
cap was 18.
So the objections to these ECS fees as written here. No objections?
And are the potlucks, how much is it again? 4,649,0.
The problem?
Or they don't want some potluck.
Yeah, but are those just GBMs?
Like, what is a potluck? Like,
Why are they requesting $1,800?
It says
If
it's
it's
a
a potluck,
GBM.
right?
It says it's a GBM.
It says GBM?
yep.
Congratulations. Yep.
You don't fund GBMs, and I think you're gonna have to.
We're not
Make
doing
that
it different
clear.
because like then there's no point in including like.
The point of the question is to trap.
Well, yes, and I think
This is why the
student
minus
boards are gonna
should
get,
be.
they're not, y'all are
Reports.
smart. So after this round, people are gonna get hit to, oh, well, they don't fund us if I go
Yeah.
GBM.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to ask for more detail.
Yeah.
in your- When is this happening?
Oh, these
Have
ones
you
are
have a
so good, they don't.
space? What is the space? Who will be in attendance? Do you, like, you're gonna have to ask,
Yeah,
have you
plus-
met with someone, or do you have a confirmation
yeah.
for your space? You're gonna have to ask.
I think we're often have to task our liaisons with attending at least one of their quote unquote general body meetings to get an idea of what it's like and what what's going on. So you can then take that comparison of the general body meetings time and nature and compare them to any event that they're requesting.
So, looks like Baja gets 662.
Alright, so Russian Club is down to that. SAE Baja. Baja Fresh.
What?
20 people, 660. Any objections?
Remember that thing that happened in Children's House? What happened with Energy Clubs this year?
Yeah.
We mean that.
Well, I mean, here's what I think it highlights, is that there are these student organizations that benefit a very small number of people,
Mhm.
and it's taking up a large amount of resource from the money that you have. And so, is that an equitable distribution of the funds you have available?
That's the swing from one side to the other.
So,
Oh,
It's
snowmobile?
It's also how
Wait,
can
what?
we,
Oh no, here we go again.
it's also how
Nice.
can we help
So,
them outside of this?
Before, are there any objections? 660 Baja.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on. SAE Snowmobile.
Bye.
45 people.
We can't fund them.
So 200, so they're asking for,
Oh, it's for like what? It's something like that.
They're asking for
it's for the building of their competition vehicles.
Oh wait, they have more. Oops, I didn't want to look at that.
Who did?
Snowmobile, they have common dish and something else.
This is an actual event.
Yeah, this is their unveiling.
The decorations are her building though. But we can only fund up to the max anyway, so it's
Right.
still
So what's the max that they can get? 'Cause it's not 660.
33 times 45, 1,485.
Alright, any objections to fully funding competition?
Nope.
Cool. Any objections to fully funding $500 in contracts?
On the like clear space, like the user space.
Oh, okay.
That's
They don't have a detail in here.
Scroll.
What?
It's not scrolling.
they're not.
It says there will not be any contracts, but then there's this, wait, this is a very big blurb. That's a lot of reading. Alright. Registration, Mr. Korean, in the fall semester will be on some 25 universities, first come, first served. Implementing a catalytic converter. I guess this is a description of the materials.
Is it under the purpose?
This is just a description of the materials, but then, wait, they're also, a banner from,
Something like that.
The banners they have at competitions.
in addition, funds for general upkeep.
Wait, so it says here that in this attendance it says 25, but the other one says 45.
I'm going with whatever is on the sheet.
The budget.
Yeah. You have to make sure that it's clear that the numbers match up because it says 25 students and then professors, sponsors, and members of the Baltimore chapter, or you might have 30 to 40.
Well, I have a list as 28 non-UMBC graduate students.
But just making it clear makes kind of making it.
Yeah. And we'll make a note for the new form that if there's any discrepancies between the executive summary and the spreadsheet, we're going to go with the spreadsheet because that's what we've been doing so far, and rather not go back and
Yeah, just next.
yeah. So we'll make note of that. Anyway, with 45, what's the total that we can find again on that? 45 times 32.
145.
1485.
I'd say, I mean, never mind. They'll reallocate anyway if they don't want to use it on those specific things. But they're probably most likely want to put all that towards decorations.
All right. So, are there any objections to? Would we like to just do decorations or also fund that contract section?
Okay, we don't know, it doesn't say anything about
Yeah.
They're not actual decorations. Those are supplies for
I know,
the.
but for contracts, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
we don't
contract
know what
doesn't
If the
contract
have-
contracts are so
is.
important, then we allocate.
That's also true.
All right. Let's see.
Like, I have no idea.
2, 3, 5. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Big math.
Math major, please.
Good job.
What is number? Fine.
Alright, society of, are we, what?
Yep.
Okay,
Wow, we are.
society of Asian scientists and engineers.
6.
We're down. We're almost close to our total for on campus.
Almost.
We're 153.
Oh.
But there's still several.
Yeah, but
we're not done cutting.
Like with how much we cut.
Yeah,
Like we're
that's
getting a lot
like
closer. So we're on the right.
Surprising.
Anyway,
$33 ahead is what.
SACE, success and involvement.
Is this?
Wait, you're under it.
You're under total.
$10
Yeah,
for
but we also have to
everybody.
include off.
We are?
For on campus, yeah, 153. It should be 172 for the college.
But what's the whole pot?
Oh, my bad. That's the whole lot.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can allocate for all campus opportunities. We can allocate $110,000. All right. Yeah. Back to SACE.
So wait.
Cheap, bro. I like this stuff.
Are there any?
Good take.
Are there any objections to the audio visual being 25 and the room rental fee being 10?
No.
No.
Cool. You're no objections.
So this is not as old as.
Imagine if this is
They're requesting a whopping $12.50 for food. Any objections?
They can have $12 of food. That means
This is not a GBM.
That's like one pizza.
Is it, yeah.
But like they said no, but like,
Wait, what?
What is it?
I can't really tell what it is.
Listed as no. Care factors as
One Chipotle
help
fries.
out the community, travel guests occurring in the morning.
Maybe
that
just be
process
like
is
some
professional.
chips and soda. And is it,
They can
What
get
is
like
the
some
event?
snacks. How many people are going?
Predicted.
Yeah, they indicate that number count ranging from 10 to 20.
Like, go to what that means.
Is this gonna be on UMBC?
They said they'll be advertising it other ways.
I assume they're fully funded.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not requesting anything else. Yeah. Cool. So, Society of Physics students. Firewalk.
Sounds dangerous.
They're requesting $200.
what is the?
Club outreach with a demonstration. So it's a
With
mixture
the
of
firewalk?
get some physics in there.
Where?
And Oobleck Firewalk.
You gotta set something up like that.
What is that? It's like the goofy
You know how you like can walk on like hot coals without burning yourself or whatever?
So like can you walk on Oobleck?
Ain't that like a liability thing though?
Well, it's a solid and a liquid.
Get the trip. See you next.
There's a lot of things that you want.
So what is the description of the event say? Hold on, here's
It says that they're going to be purchasing 150 pounds of cornstarch for this.
Oh my gosh, there's gonna be so much oobleck.
So is it like,
That's all
they're
the
not
rest of it.
actually lighting it on fire?
No, that's why I said an oobleck walk, because it's it's
Yeah.
liquid
But
and
they put
solid.
fire in there and then my
Yeah.
spidey sense goes off.
I gotta show you that you can like walk in.
Yes, fire walk, because can you walk on fire, can you walk on oobleck?
Yes.
You ever made it before?
Yes. And then I told my children, don't make that in my house.
I've never read this book.
Here at UMBC, we endorse.
It's like a substance, and if you pour it, it pours like a liquid, but if you punch
It's like
it,
when you
it's
make
solid.
slime,
I love
which is making 150 pounds of slime. So
Yeah, I really want to go to this.
Alright, well,
okay.
can we discuss it later time? So $80 for food and drink, any objections?
no,
$120 for rental materials, any objections?
go buy that 150 pounds or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Is that a rental though? But I guess
Rental
it's
for
fine.
what?
It's they didn't know to put it under decorations. It's fine.
Yeah.
Ian and I told everybody that kind of late.
Yeah, because we realized that there wasn't an other section, since we didn't really get a chance to modify the form before.
They were fully funded.
Yeah, fully funded at 200. Society of Women Engineers.
Sweet.
They have a conference.
Haha.
What is that?
What?
What is that laugh for?
The conference.
STEM College Night. They requested 120 in food and 15 for Common Vision. Are there any objections to Common
So,
Vision?
hold on, this is not for them, they're bringing high school students,
Oh,
High school.
so, since you've kind of made that precedent already,
good point, good point, good point.
You want to help other people?
These are other people.
which maybe you can reconsider your precedent.
Yeah, we're gonna review all them.
Yes?
Yeah.
What do they need the people for?
It's for high school
I
girls.
can't remember.
Stop it.
Yeah, but if they want to buy them pizza, they can do that.
But
Right,
the other
but
thing
you
about,
just set a precedent that said you wouldn't,
but that was
Fund it.
dealing with the ratio.
Yeah,
This one is
so we're not
20
going
to
to.
20.
But that's not
but it
precedent
wasn't,
that you
the
set.
ratio,
Wasn't.
the precedent was not based on the ratio, the precedent was based on who was the primary benefactor of this event. The last one determined the primary benefactor was the senior citizens zone and not UMBC students.
This is
So we did
an
that
event
based
for
on
other
ratio.
people.
What about that other event?
You
that
didn't
was,
base it on ratio.
That was your
where
logic,
they brought in kids?
but the overall consensus was that they was the primary benefactor argument.
But it was based on the ratio that I voted for.
No, it wasn't.
For me, yeah.
For you, but it wasn't the general consensus of the board when they made their vote.
What was the other club where they had like they were bringing in people from
Splash.
an elementary school?
And
So
Red Cross.
this says that the purpose is
for
to help
fire.
professionally develop a member in singular and teach them skills that are important for networking and future jobs. We also help to increase.
Well, that's the description.
College night or networking?
No, that description is of Societies of Women Engineers,
That's
not of the event.
purpose of the org.
That's the purpose of the org, not the purpose of the event.
Yeah, we really should. There's so many.
I don't think we should fund it.
Well, technically your precedent says that you can't.
Yes,
So,
so precedent says that.
If
we
if
won't
that's
fund
a
it because
precedent you wanna revisit,
the primary benefactor of this event is not UMBC students.
Mhm.
Is this something you guys would like to revisit right now?
No.
Justin?
Do you want to vote on it?
Yeah.
You want to revisit your
Well,
precedent?
it's-
So, yeah, I'm gonna do votes for anything involving precedents because I want an on record in terms
If
of
we're
what.
gonna revisit the precedent, I don't want to just vote on it. I want reasons why we're revisiting it.
Well, the question is, should we revisit and then after we decide?
So this will be a vote of, do we want to discuss a possible change of precedent? It's the same thing as, it's the same thing as amending the agenda. First we move to amend the agenda, then we talk about the changes, then we move to finalize. So this will be the move to the beginning part. All in favor of revisiting this precedent, please raise your hand now. All in favor of leaving the precedent as is, please raise your hand now. All right, there we go.
Let the vote show.
Let the record show.
Yeah, what was it?
4 to
Zane,
1.
did you have a question?
Yeah, so revisit the idea of should we be funding service clubs when the primary benefactor is not UMBC students? The vote was 1 for, 4 against. So we will not be reopening that. Coffee with engineers.
This is kind of professional thing on campus where they speed date other engineers, but not date like firemen.
Is it geared towards members only?
that is the first description under everything is the description of
The
the
club,
club.
purpose
I
of
thought
the event.
The purpose of the event is the second one.
Timeline of the
They said,
event.
since we want to work with other engineering clubs to plan the event, we're hoping to get more student attendees. They do plan on advertising that.
If they're working with other engineering clubs, I'm not gonna call it based on the membership. Because as long as you are part of any membership of an engineering club, or even just any engineering club or engineering students, but if they're not specifically restricting it to their club, I'm gonna say yes.
Yep, I think it's nice and big.
So, $50, Common Vision, any objections? Wow, who's that? $20 for dining ware and $170 for food and drink. Can you?
They're getting it from Papa John, so they shouldn't have any charges.
So cut that down.
Yep, alright. 0 for dining ware, $170 for food and drink.
How many people is it?
30. We
Conference.
off campus.
Yet, dash. Alright, we're assuming 12. Travel costs, $300. That's it.
Where is it?
But you're still cutting that in half because of the precedent.
Yeah, that is correct.
What is
Even
this?
though it's that much.
Animal?
Yeah, the question is, where's the
It's in
Anaheim?
Virginia.
Those are two different places.
Oh, wait.
Anaheim Convention Center?
It's the IEE, right? Which conference is this?
No, this is a we.
Are we talking about V19 or
Okay,
actually?
then this one is in out to LAX.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
all.
wait, hold on. No, these are reversed, hold on, wait. We19.
Oh, they just named them.
Yeah, so it was reversed here. So right now we'll look at We19, which is they're requesting, $1,100 for lodging, $440 for registration fees, $2,400 for travel costs.
We-19 is a,
V19 is SWE's national conference that they have.
I'm taking 4 individuals. So we have precedent 440.
Yep, 440, and for this one would
1200.
be,
And then,
any objections to this as stated?
no.
Hearing no objections, moving on to the WIE conference, we're looking for $300 for travel. This one
That's
is.
the IE.
That's the one in Virginia.
You have to look at the name on them, not what their name at the bottom.
What do you mean? Yeah, event name. IE.
You said we.
He
IE.
said WIE. It's,
IE?
IE.
Oh,
do you know what IE means?
No, stop.
What? Okay, so
IE.
they're requesting 300 for travel costs.
yeah.
I
How
don't
far,
understand
it says Arlington or,
How far is the Ritz-Carlton?
oh, Ritz-Carlton?
Oh my God,
It
that's
doesn't
what I
really matter
thought.
because it's less
That's
than
what
the
I-
people.
Ritz-Carlton
Sorry?
said. I mean, I
Say
don't
again?
know.
We still provide travel. It was $300
It's
for
the one
like
in
driving or something.
near Penn City.
I think Ritz.
Any objections to $150 for travel?
How far is it?
39 miles.
They're not, okay, it's 39. 300 times something times divided by 4.
Oh,
This is- I think this is the one in-
We only use that for lodging.
3
John
times.
City.
How far is it?
39 miles.
39 miles.
39 times 58 cents.
2. Wait, I did that wrong. Yeah, that's under 150, but that's also less than that. So if we don't actually provide like, do we want to calculate the cuts from how much they are eligible for or how much they request?
How much they request, they should be asking for how much they want.
They're asking for gas and parking.
Oh, parking. That should be fine.
Yeah, so 150, any objections?
It's a multi-day conference too, right? So it's multiple days.
I believe so.
Yep, it's 3 days long, so I guess it's fine.
Alright, you ready for some math, Scott? 185.
Wait. For on campus first, we are doing
185.
Equal 185 plus.
That's it.
Cool.
Off campus. 2,190.
20.
2190 plus 150.
We'll laugh at me saying
I didn't know math was such a.
6. Ajuba.
It's Sasa.
Sasha.
I might tender my resignation.
Not yet.
Ajuba, an estimated 300. Can you check with this ECS?
If you try to tender your resignation, can we overrule the chair?
No.
No?
Overrule my resignation. You're trapped here.
It's within the limit of $9,900.
This is,
Good math
for
right, yeah.
For Sasa.
I award you one clown emoji.
Alright. Then just formatting goes off. That's all. Any objections? 200 for competition.
Looks good. Get rid of those giveaways though.
Zeroing recognizing giveaways. Can you check what those were? Just a minute time.
Play trivia games, small prizes.
Prizes. Cool. Get rid of that. Decorations. 500. Diningware. 150. Food and drink. 1,700. Any objections to those three?
They're nice.
Within the limit
Oh, God.
of $3,600 per food.
Hearing no objections.
Wait, rental material? What the heck? It just says
We came to this amount by looking at previous years' expenditure.
I don't know what their renters are.
Hey, I made the rental material separate. I only included these three at the beginning. That way, this would be a discussion point. How about you just skip? Do you have ECSVs?
I feel
Yes.
like
Alright, let's go with that.
even though we already went through like rental materials for everybody, I think a lot of people are putting them in there just because they didn't have a category and they didn't know what to put them in.
So, check on the executive summary. If there's nothing listed in the section where rental materials would be, or decorations, or any miscellaneous, we're gonna nix it. But for now, let's do the competition.
so audiovisual is 842, so that's under, our security at 550, setup at 320, housekeeping 430, ticket staff 300.
Alright, so they're requesting under. So audiovisual, they're only gonna get 700. Housekeeping, they're only gonna get 350. Security, they requested less. Setup, they requested less. Team staff is the same.
Security, well, security, they requested more, they requested 700, and it's 550.
Yeah, so we're only doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because any other money that we
And then
give,
there's
just
no
roll back.
campus, no campus life operation.
Yep, $0.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I don't know why I'm reading that backwards.
Are there any objections
Wow.
to these ECS fees as stated? No. Hearing no objections, rental materials. Did you find anything in the executive summary?
Same items that they requested last year, so.
They didn't make this a lot more clear. So would you guys like to fund it or not?
Sorry, what was that? I guess. Oh, the rental.
Right,
That sounds like they were trying to put stuff in, but didn't know where to put it, so I would fund it.
Alright, we'll put this to a vote since it's a common topic. All in favor of funding it, please raise your hand now. All opposed? Democracy.
Get them off this now.
But let's do, oh god, what was security, 550, right?
Yeah. You can just hit on it, it's okay.
And what is the max that they can ask for?
It's
Or
$9,900.
Oh,
Wait, sorry. Off campus, they got nothing. So Scott, the total is 4970.
Good math. Splash at UMBC.
Splash day.
this is for students, high school students.
High school students. So the precedent would be to not fund this event.
Yeah.
Are there any objections to following?
They
this?
tried to word it though, sharing subjects acknowledge that you
That students, like children who are also interested in these things.
So, would you guys like to read through the executive summary and determine whether or not the primary benefactor is, or do you want to just agree now on the primary benefactor and then from there we'll determine whether
We
or not-
provide water, lunch, and snacks for our event attendees. So I think they're trying to defeat the non-UMBC.
Yeah, so they're saying they have 80 UMBC students, 100 non-UMBC students, non-UMBC people.
Yeah, so the ratios.
Yeah. Who's the parent?
And zero it out.
I mean, what do you think the primary benefit of this is?
It's a huge choice.
And is there benefit to a UMBC student to be able to do service?
Then we would have to reconsider all of them, yeah.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like there's
we're
always
just
a
making
little
sure
bit
that
of
everyone's on the same
benefit.
page as to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do
The
it.
point of a precedent is, we don't
Sure.
re-ask the question every time.
I'm just sort of trying to get you ready for what these service groups are gonna say to you. Is that,
I'm not gonna say different.
I know, is that the messaging that is being given is that
Service has been done.
service has been missing.
Is everyone listening to Candace?
Yeah.
Is that the,
I think so.
Someone else is calling Bruce.
that the finance board is not placing a value on the,
Importance of
well, like the
service
learning
organized.
and the connection that can happen between UMBC students while they're doing extra service. That's the argument that's gonna be made to you. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm just telling you that's the argument that's gonna be made to you. The argument that you are making is yes, and
The student activity fees for
This is
students that
limited
are
and-
striving for month to do service.
well, yes, something to that.
That's not how I would word that.
That the argument that you're trying to make is that there is a limited amount of money available and.
The priority must go to events that benefit UMBC students as a whole, of which these events, while generally benefit the general populace, are not prioritized for UMBC students, and therefore, UMBC student money cannot be prioritized for them. So,
And then also, I mean, this being more me, but like offering them like maybe partner with like the Shriver Center or like with someone else in Canada, think about to like help them get funds for their events that they want to do.
yeah.
I don't know how big of a budget, but
Yeah, we'll see what our budget's looking like after round two. So we're nixing this out. Everyone good with that?
Yep. Is this updated?
That's a lot of things.
The amount of fields, tech fields.
What's the deal?
I agree.
I don't think this thing
I know.
updated. Calculate how much money we spent so far.
That's it, right? You're not.
2022.
Huh?
That's how much we spent from on campus so far.
What is the students?
I don't know, helping on
Go
your.
up to that point. That's because the bottom was groups that we haven't done yet.
Yeah. So students helping Honduras.
Oh.
They have students helping Honduras talent show.
What is,
Working on it.
Papa John.
Talent show?
So we want to bring awareness to our club people because we're still small, so we're trying to build ourselves. Guests will arrive, brief introduction, talent show performances, food, and a PowerPoint to explain what they're doing, and then next half of the talent show. Please provide justification. Okay. Talent show, they'll have sign-ups, so that's their contract with UMBC students. It's a new event. It's never been done before, so we want to get everything together before they start posting about it. We need to rent out AV equipment, decorations about our club in general. Kind of, we're hoping our first big event will help awareness for our club because they're so small.
See anything wrong?
Alright, so ECSCs, can you check on those?
and I would anticipate that they're not
In there. Alright. In the meantime, common vision materials at 150. Are there any objections to that?
No.
Their food is from Papa John's, so nixing dining ware, but funding decorations at 150 and food and drink at 300. Any objections to that? Cool.
They give you the dates for this?
No, you don't get paid.
You don't ask for dates.
This will be redone, I don't.
I'm not asking for something I did too, yeah.
We can talk more about that.
I'll have my staff help. Present
I don't
legislation
see
to the
it.
board, so you guys can look over.
That'll help, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
I'll help you figure out some of the changes to settle this.
You can, if you want to recommend changes, I have those documents.
Yeah, I don't know where they would have gotten these.
I just couldn't find it.
Where are they
I don't know why I
trying to
couldn't find
say
it.
where they
No, I don't care what
let me
it
look
was.
to see one more time.
I was trying to look for the note
They've got
page,
nothing
and I
next to
couldn't, like,
location either.
Yeah.
You really need to work with that
I couldn't figure out where
It
it
was,
It's not the description of the club.
where's this? This is.
They don't have a location.
Good, it's up in the
That
So,
seems like a lot of BCS for 50 people, though.
Yeah.
I wonder
They don't have
where they got
anything
those numbers.
confirmed.
Alright, well, following precedent, are there any objections with funding BCSDs as is? Again, you know, whatever they don't use or in each section just comes right back to us. For this board.
We're kind of close to how much money we have for on-campus events, so I feel like just funding ECS in excess would take away from something else that the money would actually be used for. So I think in round 3 we'll have to come back to that, but for now I would just put it like it is.
Understood? Alright, hearing no objections, events in 13, 16, so we just nixed 20 from
13, 60, let's see this whole thing. Is it 60?
yeah, we just nixed $20 from the whole thing.
Cool. Table tennis.
Table tennis,
I've never heard of it.
table tennis fall startup.
They're really good. It's kind of demoralizing. Yeah. It's a good one.
Alright. Table tennis requesting a group rental fee of $100.
I'm good at table
I don't know why they would need a room rental.
Yeah,
They
it's
said
taking
that
place in the
they-
game.
They said that they did not have to, and then if they wanted to take like the whole room, they just have to ask.
Yeah, they don't need a room rental.
Alright,
They have like reserved tables in the game room now that only they can use. I don't know if that's.
We should know that, I mean, if they reserve the space, they set off tables for them, but there's no fee for that.
so do we want to bring this down to 0 or bring it down to 25?
They want to take the whole room?
You said 0
Yeah,
for the
they're
game
using
room?
the whole room.
Even if they use the whole room, there's no fee for it.
Yeah, so I think it's 0.
Yeah, we should just like,
Does it,
make
do
sure
they
to
say
tell them
specifically
that.
where it is?
Yeah, so but
They don't even have space for their job.
We will run out the game for 2 hours using 25 watt. That's the plan.
So 25 live.
This way.
Does 25 live like tell you amounts of money? No.
For some things, yes.
Alright, so 0 for room rental.
alright.
And what are the rental materials? They have a big old paragraph there.
Yeah, so I think table tennis, balls,
So
and
somebody, okay, I'm gonna put down in the little things. Tell the gamer staff to stop talking to the room stuff.
Well, we don't know if they're rearranging it at all.
They are, they're moving the tables.
Well, and there's a cost. So there is a cost if they're rearranging in there.
Wait,
Where
how much
does it
for
say?
rentals?
Cause they
They're
are like
rearranging.
4 tables. Like,
No, there's a bunch of tables.
no, there are 2 tables in the like little net area, but they have like 4
Hold up.
reserved tables.
They're saying
that
we
they
need
have set
$100.
Guys,
aside.
one at a time.
Scott first.
Finish.
So they have like a bunch of tables that are reserved only for them, and they move the room around.
Justin.
So $100 is going to 2 sets of 50 ball packs for the entire year.
No, that's them trying to get, table tennis has been trying to get new equipment also from anyone that will give them the money to do it.
Yeah, so that's what they're including in their rental materials. Because it's like, we should just take off 100.
Understood. First off, room rental fee. We want to keep it at 0, we can up it to 25.
You didn't say that they have to the game room stuff, it's wrong now.
Yeah, that's wrong. The game room stuff is wrong.
But if they are moving tables around,
But
like
if
Scott
they-
said.
If they did $50 an hour, then they calculated $100 without like any setup costs. Cause that's how they got to that $100 number, right?
Yeah,
So
that's.
then they didn't account for it themselves, so why should we account?
Who should we direct people to like ask how much the stuff costs?
ECS,
ECS.
third floor.
And the thing about it is that might have been how we are assuming that they got that number, but because we can't know for sure.
What do you mean?
They said, so the game room was $3 an hour.
That's what they said.
Yeah, so then.
Yeah, and they're requesting $100. But as much as I would love to, because it'd be very convenient, I'm not comfortable with making the jump from that,
Yeah,
assuming
assuming what they want.
to assuming that
Well,
because it was 2 hours.
because of what, yeah, you got it. No, that's what they said. They said the rent out game for 2 hours, if it was told by human staff, would be $50 an hour.
Okay, how
So he
much?
doesn't
I
want
don't
to do
think
that,
it's
just
that-
that.
Right, no, right, no, I agree, I think you're.
So we're on the same page.
We're smart.
Yeah, or funding $80 food and drink, zero hour.
So no.
Yeah, are there any objections to, well, at least for the room rental fee? I just wanna make sure everyone's okay with $0.
Yeah.
I'm double checking with Britt too to confirm.
Alright,
I said this was the information they had, is there any
cost
cost to it?
Alright, so I'm gonna hold off on room rental fees just because if they do need that, they technically did request $100. So I would like to be able to cover whatever they need in terms of setup. But for 80, no objections for food and drink being 80 and ref materials being 0, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here are no objections. Scott, we're gonna hold off on this until we get information for the room rental fee.
Okay.
They have no off-campus event, so we'll hold on that. Moving up next is the stilettos. Alright, stilettos, can you check ECS fees in the time? $250 for common vision, any objections?
What's
Alright, there are no objections. All they've got is that plus their ECS fees.
Loading, did you change the table times?
So
No,
they
okay, that's what we'll
have,
need to find out information.
they have 570 for audiovisual,
Yeah.
570,
120 for security,
120 for security,
120 for ticket staff,
120 for ticket staff.
and $25 for recital.
Alright, any objections to fully funded ECS fees as is? Here are no objections. This event is fully funded. Fantastic. Moving on, Anime Society.
How much was it?
Fully funded.
Oh, cool. Anime.
Don't crap out.
Audio visual.
That's it. 250 for audio visual, and that's it.
Well, and that's for on-campus general meetings.
General
That's your
meetings.
general audience.
So, all in favor of mixing it?
Yes.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Britt confirmed that the game room is free.
Game room is
Oh,
free.
wow.
Any objections to maintaining, so since the game room is free for on-campus back table tennis, room rental fee, $0. Any objections?
No objections, make sure to tell them and all clubs that.
Wait for my treasure return.
Yeah.
Alright, Scott, it's gonna be $80 for table tennis.
Huh? Treasure return.
Like every day.
Everyone seems like. Alright, so we're doing after that. They have 24 hours of anime. They're requesting $50 for audio visual and $180 for security. That is it.
Is this not?
Are there any objections? They're when you submit ECSUs for special.
Okay, no objections.
Any objections to this?
Yeah, no
There are no objections. On campus is going to be $230, Scott, for anime.
2:30?
Yep.
Nice.
What do you mean? Won't be safe.
Game to oh
PDC.
Indoor fall game jam. They're requesting $103 in composite materials. Any objections?
And then 360, which is 30 times 5.
Where did that 103 come from?
I don't know.
They got it down to
It is not 200, it's not about 250.
this
It's like,
executive summary is very smart.
We will have a banner, an INET ad, and some posters.
Is mine just not loading?
As we have said, underneath marketing and merchandise.
I have nothing.
You have absolutely nothing?
Got
Then it might just, whoa, good save. What's the title of your form?
UMBC Gaming, FA 2019.
It says UMBC Gaming?
It should.
Yeah, that's
so
something else.
GDC.
I think, yeah. They might have submitted multiple on that.
Or this is the Game Developers Club,
So this
not
one-
UMBC Gaming.
My bad.
Oh, yeah, that was, okay, so they
So,
said,
confusion.
they said they'll have a banner and
I know.
yeah, that and some posters.
Alright, any objections to 103 for
That's the answer
competition?
to your question.
Hearing no objections.
It is,
360 for food and drink. This is the max that they're allowed to request. Any objections?
what is,
Hearing no objections. They have no all-campus events, so Scott, they are fully funded.
24 hours over now.
UMBC gaming,
Technically 24 hours now.
It's fully funded?
I think yes, I think you should fully fund UMBC gaming.
Yeah.
Or UMBC gaming?
UBC
Yes.
Gaming was our no event plan.
That's why your executive
They
summary
submitted
was
it.
like.
I'm confused.
I am confused.
I don't know what, okay, so.
Scott, UBC Gaming, you told every club to submit a budget. They didn't have the events. They submitted a budget. It was $0.
I think, I mean, we can appreciate it.
I think you should say thank you to them.
Honestly, yes. They didn't have to, but they did.
Alright, UBC.
Gospel choir.
Oh.
Ignite.
That's, okay, alright, thank you.
Ignite.
Can you check on that?
Ignite is
Yes,
a concert, right?
Thank you so much. Common Vision materials for the gospel choir for their Ignite. They're requesting $50 in Common Vision funds. Any objections to that?
They're fully funded.
Or full,
They have a $400 contract. Can you also check on that?
yeah. So it looks, yes, they have $400 contract in with Brad. That their audio visuals $550, security $160, ticket staff $240, and then $25 for the side.
That matches up to you.
They're telling me like.
Are there any objections to funding campus life fees as it is?
Nikki, what were you saying?
Oh, their revenue summary is just pretty funny. There's nothing about contracts, but since they,
They already did.
yeah, so that's fine. No objections.
Alright, and
He
then
wants 3K.
contract is $400. No objections?
No.
Fantastic. This club is fully funded. League of Legends.
I will be abstaining from the recommendation.
Understood.
Esports.
Understood.
World Final Viewing Party.
This is the League of Legends Worlds, something that I very agree.
I don't know.
250 to
Sneaky.
250 for Common Vision. Any objections?
Nope.
250, 0
What's
merchandise.
the next merchandise?
Korea, outdated, China, overrated.
Keep going.
$20 for dining. Where's the food and drink from?
Just gonna pizza, I guess.
Where's it from? It says college.
Totally.
Papa John's. Is everyone okay with zeroing out dining ware and food and drink?
Yep. We should specify that they should ask for that from Papa John's, since they obviously don't. Just like every club.
Yeah, and when we go through,
Just like a mass email.
yeah, mass email. You're requesting
I want
$100.
pizza.
Alright, are there objections to this budget as is? Cool. $400.
Slow plan.
League Legends Land Tournament. They're requesting
Makes merching.
mixing merchandise. Is everyone okay with funding ECS fees as is, which would be $100 for audio visual, mixing campus life operations, and $50 for setup? I don't think they said anything.
Yeah.
It's probably fine. Well, using a projector and I don't know what ops fees are, but
Are there any objections to funding Common Vision materials for $200?
no.
Hearing no objections. Can you confirm ECS fees?
No, there's not.
They have nothing? Alright, is everyone okay with approving ECS fees as requested?
What are comments like op fees?
We're not funding that.
Okay.
Hearing no
And then
objections.
food again, probably necessarily mixed.
Food again, $150, mixing out dining ware. Any objections?
No.
Hearing no objections. On-campus event number 3. This is the esports social. This is in collaboration with the Overwatch Club and Smash. Check on them.
I don't know.
Or whether
That, but they have no events. I don't know where they would.
They don't even have a meeting, that's it, so.
They got nothing. I mean, they got no
Well, I
events.
mean, on the, okay, I don't know what I'm asking, but I have it.
Let me cross-reference this with the Smash Plus. It's right nearby, just in terms of what they are and not.
provide that really requested.
It's a cool.
Esports social, their match included drink, ECS fees are $130.
That was a skip.
They're doing the, check, she's checking the.
These-
class
this is the same
doesn't-
event.
Okay.
It's theoretically the same event.
So wait, this is Smash Club social?
No, so esports social is a joint event between League of Legends, Overwatch, and Smash. That's stuff in there. So,
I wonder if they were just, I don't know where they were
Clumping.
getting $500 emergency.
yeah. Are there any objections to bringing down the room rental fee to $25 and then
Are we gonna fund the Smash Club one, if it's the same thing?
Probably not. We're not gonna fund this one.
Which one is more accurate?
This one has more information
Okay.
in terms of that.
Stage and roll.
We're not voting on the Smash Club just yet.
You again?
I'm just matching it back and forth versus what has and has not been requested.
You said social.
I'm not even much of a dick, I just happen to be like a really.
This happens. Alright,
You said
so,
So, $50 for housekeeping, $25 for room rental fee. Are there any objections to these numbers that are being typed up right now?
When I work at Diamonds.
Can I for this up?
Hearing no objections. 250, common vision. Any objections? What?
No objections to come. Wait, yeah,
You said 250 something, combination? Oh, yeah. Zero.
and then zero.
Zero not requesting giveaways. Requesting $30 for dining order, $20 for food and drink.
It's Papa John's.
Food and drink, Papa John's. Any objections to funding the 200 and mixing the 30?
No, it's good.
Hearing no objections, cool.
Give me those totals, 5, 5, 5.
Zero to
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
525,
5, 2, 5, plus.
500, plus 400.
Cool. UMBC mock trial wants 10K for Los Olympus.
What?
Do you have that money?
We haven't had off-campus money for a while, so it's fine. Oh, that's a lot.
6 events.
How many people?
10 for all of them? Oh, it's
There
right.
is also audition process?
Mock trial is open towards anybody. There's an condition in terms of what teams are placed on in the event, and typically only 8 teams goes to these
Yeah,
competitions.
18.
Also, it's a class under public center.
Not this again.
Which doesn't affect how much we fund it, but it does affect how much pressure we put on the same above those departments.
Come on, Zane.
So, Club Day University. Are we okay with following? Well, we don't have precedence for these competitions.
For what?
We don't have the precedent for funding on competitions. I think we have to just full fund it.
What about ethics vote?
No, so ethics law and moot court, our precedent, they just didn't have a location, so we didn't fund it at all.
Okay.
Do
This
they
has-
have a form?
Good point, let's check.
I would hope so if they're advised for you.
Yeah, right here.
Is that all of them?
Yep, Columbia, Duke, Hereford, yeah, there's no way Carmel will run up there.
Imagine having your team be that good, but.
What is that? Alright, so, registration fees, are there any objections to funding registration fees, lodging costs, and travel costs as requested?
For all of them.
We'll see if cuts have to be made when we get close to it.
We got 2 hours left.
Isn't this one?
We can do
Yeah.
it.
Right?
Yeah.
We're pretty close. I have to.
They're all, where's Howard?
Philadelphia.
Isn't it Connecticut? Oh.
I can guarantee that.
Oh, wait, yeah.
The tournament's held in Philly.
I would not.
Yes, we are. But we don't have a precedent set. We're gonna see how much money is needed for these things, unless we don't have it. They know these things.
Oh, yes, they They have something else
Oh.
maybe too.
Oh, yeah.
What, yeah, it's script.
The finance board
The
meeting.
finance board.
Exactly, how much can we look at?
They know what to request, what not to request. They know that there are certain systems that they're not gonna get funded for lodging or for, they'll get bus or
Wait, they have
so they
food and stuff,
ask.
yeah.
They ask.
They do.
What?
What were you looking
This is mock trial. I want to see.
at? I thought so.
Food requests.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I don't think we'll be boss. Sure. Go ahead, scratch on Go ahead, smash the logo while you do it.
Yeah. So is that done, fully funded?
Yep. For now.
Did I put the comment?
Yeah. Smash Club. Smash Club, the first event, Gigs and Glory opening Smash tournament.
It's listed as a general body meeting. So is the second one.
Alright, any objections to mixing those two? Hearing no objections.
On campus 3, it's a repeat of the late one?
Yes.
Dang, we just cut everything.
So, for on-campus number 3, rental materials is different, merchandise and waste is different. Room rental fee, I'm okay with putting that to 0,
Right, because the others board hasn't covered.
because we covered the funding on that. We don't fund merchandise and giveaways, we already funded food for the half. Rental
The attendance is
Well-
also tasked with another one. At 150, I vote on 120.
How much? 150 to 120?
If it's still under the,
Yeah, it's just, we can get it there. What are the rental materials?
No,
Why is that? Did I put these?
someone check up on that. In the meantime, do we want to fund 150 food or no?
Yeah.
Keep the food.
We need to rent the new tables, they're not already part members, so $15 is a lot for next table.
for tables.
That's what it says around
It
there.
is. It's just allowed with the first two events.
Hold on. Scott, what'd you guys say? This side is yours.
I read the wrong one.
So you don't have anything on rental materials?
This is
This side of the table.
this is the
Which
same
is
event.
also, one of the same as 1 and 2, that's in collaboration.
So.
1 and 2 weren't in collaboration, 1 and 2 was just general body meetings.
So number 3.
Oh.
So on number 3 for Smash Club, they say we have considered the $100 reset fee for the game room. And included it in our budget, but nothing needs to be moved for this event. The game room as is would be fine. So they're saying they put it in their budget, but they may not need it, that $100 reset.
That's the rule.
Right.
But they're not gonna, what are they gonna use?
Did we already fund food and drink for League of Legends with their event under this?
Yes.
But we're funding it again under them? Because I thought our president was like, if 2 clubs are collaborating, like we're gonna give it to one club but not fund it again under another. Because we're just giving them like double money.
That was when they had carbon copies there.
Carbon copy.
Because the budgets were basically the same thing, so there's no point in doubling them on that. This one coach just kind of put
That might be what,
Now, if you guys,
Hamilton is requesting for.
No, but they specifically said.
I asked her what the reset is for the game room.
yeah, in which case we might want to go back to, well, not to, table has to.
The table tennis specifically said $50 an hour rental fee. It wasn't a reset fee.
So, are there any objections? So, nothing on rental materials then?
Okay, so what is happening?
So, are there any information on the rental materials? Yes or no?
I didn't see.
Not that.
Alright, are we mixing rental materials? Yes or no?
Mindy, are we mixing, oh, I know you're saying. Are we mixing that from different?
Yeah, it's just a big, specific.
Okay.
Alright,
Other Scott this one.
we just want to make comment about the one food and drink. Possibility of mixing that, correct?
I mean, how much did, what's the name?
250.
250?
And how many people are there?
200, 150, 200.
150.
But then we getting a lot.
What's the maximum capacity?
So the smallest, League of Legends has it for 120, so 120 times 12 is $1,000 worth of food.
Almost
$14,
$1,500.
almost 15, so what, together they're asking for maybe $400.
$400 for pizza.
So that's why I said add those together and see what the math is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
That's
so
fine.
then I'm.
So no objections?
Yeah.
150?
150 for the split. That is food, mix everything else, and
Alright.
Why
Use
do
that.
we do like that?
the $100
Reset period?
No.
Yeah, bring your own
She's like
people.
offended on behalf of the club.
UNICEF.
She has no idea. She has no idea.
Did you hear that, William? Bring your own people.
Okay, what did the same former finance board representative? I'm sure what did you
ECS fees for a charity gala. That's something we have to look over.
So there is a $100 reset fee depending on what they are doing, it can vary.
Yeah, their note said, we put it in there, we know there's a $100 reset fee, but we don't need to move anything in the game room, it's fine the way it is. So they were like putting it in there to say like, if you gave it to us, maybe we could use it, but we don't need it. And that's why they put it in.
We're already over
Is this the Halloween gala you're talking about?
UNICEF charity
The
gala.
UNICEF charity one, yes, they have, it in the skylight.
Is this philanthropy?
Yeah, so, the question I'm gonna ask is, will we consider a charity gala for the Honors College Council on Issuing Orders? Therefore, I think it's appropriate to consider this one too. And then, looking back, if our totals are over, this is one of the first things we can look at in terms of, do we want to fund a gala where the primary source is, giving money to people? But since we fund a charity gala, we're looking to look at ACS fees.
Okay. So, they are in skylight and no contracts, correct?
No contracts.
So setup is $15, audio visual $565, security $140, ticket staff $180, and $51 reset.
So the reset fees is under campus license. Alright. Is everyone okay with, so the reset fees being put under campus life operations fees? Is everyone okay with that? And the funding ECS fees as written?
51.
51.
For what?
For the reset fee.
Oh.
We really make it clear where that belongs, so if they put in campus life, we're not mandating them for that in this situation. Are there any objections to ECS fees as is? Hearing no objections. Common Vision, 200. Any objections? Hearing no objections. Do they really need dining where they're at Skyline?
Did they say
What's
who's
catering
catering
then?
it? Yeah, that's a different caterer, then, yeah.
Different caterer. Alright, is there any information on catering for you to set?
Says other food vendor.
Will you be serving food?
Says other food vendor, and then for dineware, they just took, the amounts from Costco, so
So
cutlery is $13 and plates are $15 for $2.85.
food from different cultures around the world. So, I'm not a vendor, but
Yeah. Alright, are there any objections to funding food and drink in dining ware as is? Hearing no objections. This event is fully funded, or, for that. UNICEF's International Day of Peace, they're requesting $40 in Common Vision and $105 in merchandise and giveaways. Approved Common Vision, next merchandise and giveaways, any objections?
merchandise and giveaway in this case is like arts and crafts, so I would consider it different than other ones.
What do you mean arts and crafts?
Like they're making something.
I don't think that.
It's not like they're giving them another like here, they make something. Over.
Yeah, that's the loophole that we use in Westlife.
Huh?
That's the loophole we use in Westlife, so.
Yeah.
If the activity is around whatever that.
Yeah.
I would keep it.
So So are there any objections to keeping the 105 for merchandise and giveaways?
What does it say that's crafts or
Executive summary.
Sure, so it says, of crafts during this time is a stress relief activity as a means for students to bring peace into their lives. The crafts will be symbols of peace from around the world.
So, are there any objections to this as written?
No.
Hearing no objections, this is a fully funded.
United Christian Council.
United Christian Council for their Jesus Cafe is requesting $20 for dining ware and $300 for food and drink.
I believe we determined that this was like a GBM that we worked on.
They listed as a GBM?
They said no, but with the way it's weekly meetings throughout the semester.
That's not what the book says.
Not the Jesus.
I think that was with the
Jesus Cafe where it's like,
No involvement to the stable in the next semester.
no, but there was an actual discussion about whether or not
It
it's.
says it is a GBM.
I think you're thinking of,
Yeah.
No,
Richard's
there was a
thing.
discussion about it. There sure was. Your vote, I don't know where that discussion ended, but your vote is to fund, to consider for funding. 0 against, your abstaining on it. So there was for sure a conversation about.
At the very bottom.
Right, but there was a conversation last week around, this feels like a GBM, but they're saying it's not a GBM, but it feels like a GBM. What is? I mean, it's an event that they have had it before, in Flat Tuesdays. Sort of like a Bible study or
Also says approximately 10 people attend usually.
The max we gave us fund is 120. That's not the best. If the event this week, we were all funding per individual person.
The event will occur 12 times in the semester. Around 15 weeks.
you don't have, like, your max of food, you don't have to give somebody or remove the max. It is the upper limit of what you will allocate. So you can decide as a group what that looks like.
Regardless, if they're estimated undergrad and listed on the spreadsheet as 20, the max we fund of course 240. So thoughts on, do we want to fund them or not?
I mean, the county, if we want to see this, we would have recurring events.
Wasn't there one that you just did for Q20 connection? You funded them? It was twice a week for 15 weeks.
But we consider them closer to UMBC, I think it was.
We haven't even done UMBC, that says come back to the nation.
Yeah. So our precedent is to fund this event, or at the very least to not.
And I think the big thing regarding UMBC was that they were a new organization. Yeah. Their food though, at least is towards their actual purpose of, there was a huge conversation around that. The food that they were buying was towards the actual purpose of the org, not just a thrill of a meeting. So like obviously cooking clubs, the purpose is food. So the food wasn't just a social aspect, it was, this is what we're learning how to do this week. Versus, please come, we have free food.
So
Food here doesn't seem critical.
Right, so that was the whole argument, was what's critical to them succeeding as an organization.
So I'll put two options on the table. One will be to zero out funding for both food and drink and dining ware. The other option will be to fully fund, which would be $20 for dining ware and $240 for food and drink. All right, all in favor of zeroing out, please raise your hand now. All right then.
I guess we should also, as we're going back again to the little
Yep, do this.
We have to go back on that, they're supposedly.
Involvement pass the tabling. Zero out. Any objections? Involvement pass. We don't fund that. All right. Total is 0 for the UCC.
Make a note to go back, your pre-comments, right?
ESA.
Sometimes.
Can you put a comment for the,
Yeah.
Jewish?
No, I think it's
They're all the
the state
comments.
can't do
Who, are either of you on the executive board?
that. No.
Like your members?
I remember
Oh,
I
can you
dropped
make a
out of the
comment?
executive board race because chair would be part of that county on the executive board. But I credit
Oh, can you make a comment for Jewish learning connection?
You're already there.
Will you write?
A member? Sometimes, or yes?
Well, I know.
I think maybe. There's also three.
It's your choice. I'm just saying, I know that if it were to quit, I just know that I could not abstain. All these people listen.
Were they like, have you voted on our request yet?
No, but the topic of talking did come up.
Oh. But the what?
The topic of like, oh yeah, I can't live that, fun for these things. I'm just like, back,
What?
go to
Okay,
back
go
and
for
forth.
it. Okay, let's see.
Um, So this is for their night market event. 200 people, so they're within their range, I believe. 200 times 12 is 2,400.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I can check on the ECS fees.
Yep, here it goes.
In the meantime, $200 for common vision materials. Any objections?
Okay, so they, he's coming over here.
Right.
Okay, 80, 450, security 180,
Well,
setup 61.
I don't know what it is.
Listen,
That's it? Okay. Are there any objections to fully funding the ECS fees as is?
Mhm.
All right. They have 100 for dining ware and $13.93.90 for food and drink. Are there any objections? The food and drink is an executive.
Oh, okay.
I just want to give them snaps because obviously they're right here and listening, but to call out some good stuff is that they specifically said they're doing different food than they have in the past years so that returning guests aren't always eating the same thing, which I know is something that we talk about sometimes. So
And
snaps for that they are switching it up.
All right. So are there any objections to fully funding food and drink and dining ware?
and they're inside the limit, right?
Yes. The limit is 200 people, so 25. All right. Are there any objections? No. 1393.9.
Wait, how many people?
Fully
200.
funded.
Yes, they usually get around that much. Too. It's like not a collaboration event, but typically every other age.
It has been fully funded.
Yeah, fully funded.
Moving on.
I'm not getting that either.
We believe.
Okay, Nithya.
Rob, it's like 4:20.
He can see the clock, like,
Yeah.
he's like, I don't want to come back.
Nithya had a 2-hour meeting.
All right. Meet
That
the
is all
admin.
I said.
Ice cream social, guys. It's a social. Thoughts?
I have thoughts, I think.
You need the admin just because of that
If
part.
they don't get the food, they're not having the event, so.
But why not?
Why not? If it's just an ice cream.
If
Like,
you want.
if they,
Oh, for
I
week.
think you can have the event without ice cream, but then not call it an ice cream social, call it meet the admin.
So ice cream-
executive board members?
The key takeaway is to encourage new members to join.
This is a
The
recruitment
recruitment.
event, it's scheduled right after enrollment tests.
We're gonna nix it.
Color your worries away.
I don't think I'm
I just don't call your worries. I was like, they're requesting $15.
de-stressed event.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So they're requesting $15 in common vision. Any objections? They're requesting $30 in decorations, $1 in dining ware, and $12 for food and drink.
$1 in dining.
We're not gonna give it to them.
Well, fine.
They're kidding.
Well,
Are you allowed to have your food service provider as Walmart?
Yes.
Okay.
They want hot cookies.
Yeah.
That's what I would.
They're good.
Alright.
Are there any objections?
Oh, it says, I think they put it in wrong. I mean, obviously you can't switch it now, but they have dining where the dollar store will be getting 3 sets of bowls and 3 sets of spoons, so $6 total.
Oh, no, you're from their dollars.
A disaster, $5. Any objections to fully funding the this three essays?
No.
Alright, on campus, Survivors Open Mic Night. This was a thing that we looked at prior.
This is a partnership, right?
Partnership with, which one? Retriever Program? So let's count you under Retriever Program. Survivors Open Mic Night, they only requested 31 in audio visual and 100 in food and drink. We Believe You is requesting 31 in audio visual, $10 in decoration, no food and drink, and the comedy materials package. So, mixing out ECS fees because they've already been paid. Any objections?
No.
$245 in common vision materials.
Did poets go?
No,
Poets
we
did not
didn't.
request anything.
Okay, 245, sure.
Is Retriever Poets already, did they have the ECS fees in there?
They had
Yeah.
$31.
Oh, they had, okay.
Question. It's between 200 and 250, and precedent-wise, we've knocked it down to 200. Something they want to do here too, or can they just go back and change the other ones?
So
But I would like
common
to-
materials is like also kind of like giveaways, I guess. I don't know, it says they're making buttons to encourage attendance and help students and staff
How much you buttons cost?
recognize the courage it takes for the survivors to stand.
They're making what?
They're making like 100 colored buttons.
Are
With common
they,
vision?
for, oh, common vision, okay.
Yes. I
you know,
believe
for-
so. Yeah, from
Common vision makes buttons.
Yeah, it says, yeah, common vision makes buttons.
So,
Giveaway from common vision.
question. Do you want to follow our precedent of doing a 200 or 250, or do you want to just fund 245 and we'll go back and change the other one?
I said 200.
Yeah. Wait, what was the other number for the other one?
230,
And we brought it down to 2.
200.
You should be 250. Or would you do that?
Well,
But
the other one
230
was
is also
supposed to be.
So-
It'd be like $25.
Retriever Poets got 200 or 230 for it?
No, this was a while back, I forget which organization.
Okay.
But one of the organizations had combination materials at 230, and since the market package were 200 to 250, we debated on whether or not we wanted to keep them at 230, which seemed like an arbitrary number, or bring them down to 200, and we voted to bring them down to 200.
Well,
The question here is, do we want to overturn that precedent and bring us back down to or leave this at 245 and change the other one from 200 back up to 230?
But
Or do we want to bring them down to 200 to follow the thing that we did prior?
like
I just don't want any inconsistency here.
like you said, that we should never give more money than they asked for, right? It's like we should just bring it down.
But then when we have to go back to open the other clubs, like there's one that asked for $103 in common vision material.
And what did we give them? We gave them
$103.
We had no,
When they asked,
we have no number of
like-
well, 200. That's why.
That's why, we don't have this thing to the, what?
We have to
So,
add $1.
because they're buttons in this marketing package, that kind of moves it into a giveaway. So I would treat it differently than current precedent.
Alright, so
Wait,
how
if
do
you
we want
wanted-
to?
I don't know if they don't specify how much.
If you
that
wanted to
is.
make 100 color buttons though, it would cost $90.
I mean, maybe they also have like.
Maybe they have some flyers.
So their marketing package is $200 and then it's $45 for the buttons from other information. So I would go to 200.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is, it's $45 to make 100 1.25 inch round buttons.
And then $200 for a marketing package.
So that's like saying just 200.
Alright, so 200, any objections?
Is there anything marketing for the other?
Decorations, $10, any objections?
No.
Alright.
Positive.
Positivity, $50 in common vision, any objections?
Nope.
$40 for decorations, any objections?
No. You tell them, Zane.
Movie night, $15 in common vision materials, any objections?
No.
Dining ware and food and drink, a total of $25, any objections? Actually, check to see where that food and drink is.
Food and drink.
This is for movie night?
One
One, so pop
Yeah.
one soda. Alright.
You said yeah.
Are there any objections to fully funded?
This. This. All right.
Do they need like to show like Netflix or whatever they're doing for movie night? Do they need like rights to that, or do they need audio visual?
I don't know if they need audio and visual. Technically, if they're showing movie, they would be the rights to it. But that's an issue that SGA or SGA is BSC.
That's more of like a liability.
Yeah, that is.
That's more of an ECS and not SABSC thing.
Oh, for like 30 people, it's not that right, so.
No. They're in the Netflix terms and conditions, and any stream service that you use, if you want to do a showing of said movie, you require the rights to that movie.
Yeah.
We got what was it?
You
We got
can
an info for that last year.
On Netflix in terms and conditions, it is one
Well,
person
there-
per account.
Well, there are others that you have said that they are screening movies, that you have not had this conversation about. Yep.
Yes.
So,
Why did they say that they're using Netflix?
Like Phil andNon was screening a movie.
Yeah, well, the thing that I'm
Well,
looking
there's
at
a lot
is
of
that just funding for food and drink for said event.
Yeah.
But the question is, do we want to then go back and make this every movie night because of the liabilities involved?
so
I think we send an email out to
you
clubs
can
that are
say,
screening movies.
yes, to say,
And say, hey.
you need to be aware,
Movies.
right,
Yeah.
now, because
That's
They-
all
Like,
they said that
if
they
they
were
get
gonna
DVD
screen
from the
it.
library,
Yeah.
is that a liability issue?
yes,
You,
yeah.
a DVD.
So here's how movie screenings work. If you are planning on showing a movie to a group of people, you have to buy or rent or purchase the rights. If you, by chance, have a group of people together and didn't plan to show them the movie, but you're like, hey, let's watch a movie, that's different because it's not a planned event. It just happens. So.
Now, for small gatherings, like with your friends, they're
That's
not really going to be
different, right,
cracking
it's-
down on it. They're not going to.
It's not a plan. You didn't say, you had dinner,
Right.
then, then you're like, let's watch a movie. You didn't send them an email saying, come to my movie night event, like I'm doing in my backyard on Friday. Maybe that's happening.
Campus life.
So typically they won't crack down on small groups, even if someone's like, hey, it's a movie night. Like technically it's against the law, and they'd be like, hey, I'm hosting a movie night at my house.
Right, because you
guys
did a
come
private,
over."
right.
It's a private screening. However, typically those won't get caught. However, we're a state university, and because of that, we're in a slightly bigger spotlight. What we do is a bit more scrutinized. When movie nights are hosted by SCB, they get the rights to that movie. They buy those movie rights before they do movie screenings there. We're under more of a scrutiny, which is why we have to be careful with stuff like this.
Right,
Because
so
when
I
we're
think
friends,
you
we're fine.
need to say to them, these movie nights, explain to them that, be like, it is in you legally need to buy the rights to these movies.
Yeah. But it's not.
That's on us.
That's on them. But if we send that email saying, we're going to give you funds to enjoy said event, but you need to make sure you do this, otherwise the event is technically, then we'll clarify that. So I'm okay with funding.
That's accusatory though. It might be like some relevant movie that from an organization or something, giving them the rights. So just
Sure.
saying, making sure you have this
Making
before
sure you
host it.
have the rights.
Yeah, make sure you have the rights to the movie before you screen this movie.
Just not coming at them like, hey,
Yeah, hey, buy
we
the
think you
rights.
can do
That's
this.
real BS. Some bullcrap.
You signed off.
Well, I
to
mean,
it.
but like, what it is like, I rent this movie and then I charge everybody $1.
I mean, yeah, but like,
That's what they're trying to make sure that's not happening.
Consent event, that looks good, I think.
Yeah, consent, they're requesting $200 in combination materials and $90 in decorations. Are there any objections to fully funding? Here, no
Stress list
objections.
funds.
DIY de-stress, $15 for common vision, $100 for decorations. Are there any objections to fully funding this event? Here are no objections.
Will.
You know what?
Okay, so.
Who are you telling those numbers to? Nobody listens.
No, I'm just checking to see if I'm checking to see if we fully funded this one.
You did you?
No, we did not look like. All right, Scott, math time.
Give me some.
That's going.
58 plus 210 plus 40 plus 290 plus 150.
58, 210, 40, 290.
Sure.
But
Why do you need that?
Because you have an X
oh,
at
what
the
do I
top.
need to match? What?
There you go.
You want me to match something?
All right.
Better at math.
How much better at computing?
Wait, what?
Former comp sci.
Women in STEM.
Yeah, so comp sci problem.
No.
Is that what
Alright,
it is?
that's a conversation for later.
Alright, we can do this if we.
So
step
it's
on
a
it.
radio.co monthly license for.
You skipped
Easier.
women leadership.
What?
Will.
Darn it. It's
Will
a
I
long
am.
time for-
Darn it.
Girls
Oh,
ready.
shucks.
Like, I'm ready.
Room.
Because she doesn't want to.
They have a room fee of 40.
Oh my god, why?
Is
It
everyone
said
okay?
25.
Is everyone okay with dropping the room rental of 40 to 25?
Yeah.
Cool. Common vision, $20. Any
Wait,
objections?
wait, hasn't this event with, have
But
we
I
paid
think
for
it's just
room
the
rental
same
with a
thing.
different,
I'm not sure if
Is
this
this
was
in
on-
collaboration?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, STEM.
this is what I.
It's a collaboration.
It's
I don't
collaboration with
think
CWIT, REACH,
Oh, so it was Reach who had.
Collaboration and reaching.
It was Reach that put it in.
so then,
Did we just put? I thought we just put one thing.
Reach put in a women in STEM event, because I remember looking it up with all of these student orgs to see if they had put in a reservation.
Yeah.
REACH
Second, let's
has-
cross-reference.
REACH has put in $40 for room rental fee and we've put in 25,
Yeah,
so.
they covered audio visual, so we can nix room rental fees, common vision, I'm okay with funding both of them. Or, but that's on you guys to decide on.
It's 20 and 20.
20 and 20. As far as that stuff, 200, 185, 400, 200, 185, 400. So these are the same requests on here, so are you okay with nixing everything?
Yeah.
And they didn't say in their
Well,
request,
how many
oh, we're
people-
halving the event
Oh,
or
so
something
we're
like that.
Negative.
I think I'm gonna make a collaboration.
But does it,
Sign up.
but that's like one thing, because they're probably saying collaboration.
We're taking
What's the
notes.
total cost of the
Doesn't it,
event?
we've been probably say collaborate, right, like, I guess we
You,
can't tap.
you could, but the fact the budgets are carbon copies of each other, similar to that. So we have the precedent of if you have two budgets that are exactly the same.
Okay.
But wouldn't, I mean, like the carbon, I get why that argument stands, but if you're splitting it in half, wouldn't they be carbon copies? Because you're just doing the same amount for both people? Like, isn't that how it would work?
Ooh, big thing.
So
I was like thinking about that like a lot, but then I was like, I don't know.
I think because
Do
the
they
numbers.
say if they're splitting the?
I mean, I'm
They
not
say
saying, I'm
that-
saying in general.
They don't say
because, like-
specifically that they're splitting, but they say that they're collaborating.
So like, I mean, if I was having, I'd be like, we'll request half and they'll request half so that it doesn't look like we're asking for all this money.
This
So
event
that-
happened
so, like,
last
Use the full amount and a half of the fee.
We don't have
Yes,
that.
fees
But
could
that's
be-
like,
So,
yeah.
It wouldn't have been something that could have happened last year because they just all came in together at once. And they all just kind of like went to one.
The reason we did it for, the reason why we did it for
Alright,
charity
okay.
gala was because the numbers from the single one matched the numbers from last year.
Yeah, that makes sense, so that was confirmed, but I feel like there was one club where we were like, it's a carbon copy, but we didn't even have a, like a EC, like we didn't check. But I'm not sure, maybe I'm just.
No, for the other one, it was the collaboration between League of Legends and Smash, and those two budgets were not carbon copies of each other. That's why we decided differently.
Okay.
Because the numbers on there were different for everything.
Yeah.
We were just using the,
Well, the food,
I gave them double food.
Well, it would be $800 of food for 80 people. And this is Papa John's.
that's a lot of Papa John's.
So what are the names?
That's like 100.
The women's stuff.
Yeah, I think it's not.
Oh, no, it's Chartwell's.
Oh, it's Chartwell's.
800, never mind, 850.
Then $800 is about right. No, Papa John's,
Yeah, that's true.
$800 for Papa John's is 100 pizzas.
I could just think of stacks filling up this room.
$800 is
And
like,
$800 in Chartwell's
Was
is
like a
like a
lunch.
salad. Like, when I ordered
Thanks.
lunch for you the other day from Chartwell's, I was like,
Should we pop?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
That is so expensive.
Yeah. So $800 for 80 people from Chartwell's is not out of the realm of possibility.
Maybe we should just.
But diningware,
Diningware's gonna be
doing,
regardless.
if they're doing, so you have, like you said, have given both orgs food, even if they requested the same, right? If it was under the threshold for the total
Yes.
number of people. and then decoration, so yeah.
Are they saying they're gonna have the same amount of attendance?
Yeah, it's 80 and 80.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
it sounds like it's really too.
All right. All in favor of fully funding Common Vision for 20?
Aye.
Here are no objections. Any objections to fully funding decorations and food and drink, but nixing dining ware?
No objection.
All right. Cool. Breast cancer. $40. They're requesting 95 with a rental fee.
Where are they doing this?
No idea. I don't know why I bought it. The information there.
They might sometimes put it in there.
Is there a question asking?
No, but sometimes they don't even there. This is for.
Breast cancer awareness, audiovisual is 73, which would match up with the estimates that they would have gotten from each of the other events. They're probably ballpark the same. Room rental fees 95. We'll move that down to 25. Are there any objections to funding these ECS fees as written here?
No.
Hearing no objections. $20 for Common Vision. Any objections? Hearing no objections. Breast cancer awareness event. They are catering from, they didn't tell us.
Zane, are you good?
Wait. So we were like not funding
What's up, bro?
fundraisers, right?
Yeah.
Well, in the like timeline of the event, they said, should we decide to have a fundraising aspect to the event for breast cancer research? So they're considering a fundraising aspect.
Then when we give them the budget, we'll input an email saying you cannot make this a fundraising event, otherwise we will.
Well, it's like different. Like the data orgs ask for donations for people who want to donate, but it's not the primary purpose of the event. So I think that's
But they
important.
might make
Yeah,
it
they're still
higher.
considering her like as.
Well, anybody could say, anybody could put in an event and then not tell you that they decided to do fundraising. And
So it's things for like at a charity house, they'll be like, they're pointing out, you sit, you listen, you help people, and then there'll be a little jar on the side saying, if you'd like to donate, please donate here to this fund. And that's okay. But typically the not funding fundraisers ideas, like if they need to start up like, oh, we're going to do a raffle for a fundraiser and we need money for the prizes, we say.
That's like the Krispy Kreme fundraiser stuff.
Yeah.
Like that, but, and if they do make this the primary purpose, we can audit them still.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
coordinate.
Just take out what they got.
Along with striking them in terms of requesting it for next year. Because clubs don't want to get over that side. All right, 100 for decorations, 85 for dining ware, and 300 for food and drink. Are there any objections to those as stated? The food vendors not being listed, and it's not listed explicitly as chart below, so we don't. Any
It's just-
objections?
It's more of the, how many people are there? If it's under the 40, it's fine.
40 people.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But I guess that's important for dining ware.
Yep. International Day of the Girl. Basically, they're requesting the same thing. Any objections? Hearing no objections. 73, room rental bring down to 25. Television materials 20. Decorations 100. Dining ware 85. Food and drink 300. Any objections to anything I just said? Nope. On sexual violence awareness event. 73 for audiovisual, 20 for color vision. Same request for decorations, dining ware, food and drink. Are there any objections
Papa John's is free.
for this one? Understood. Nixon dining ware. Any objections?
If, I feel like they'll probably copy it since it's the exact same amount for food and all that, so should we next time we're from all of them?
But they don't say that it's Papa John's and the other ones, right?
Yeah, but it's the same cost. Assuming it's the same cost.
You can assume
But-
that.
Okay. We'll make it very clear on the next level, when we send out the next one or something, but for now, we're all set. Women's Equality Day, 73 for audiovisual, 20 for common vision, same numbers for decoration. Can you check on the food for this event, please? In the meantime, are there any objections to funding audio and visual?
NA, so it's not, this is NA.
All right, any objections with fully funding this event? Thanks, Dave.
Talk.
They have no off-campus events. All right, Scott, ready for some math?
Or get off on that.
578,
578.
493, 485, or no, sorry, 603.
What?
603,
So which one?
that's the third one.
6-0.
Yeah. 603 again. 620. And that's it.
578, 493, 603, 603, 620.
That's right.
Last one.
WMBC.
It's for radio.co monthly lessons.
Our monthly license, they're requesting, all right, what do we do here?
Nothing, because they have no undergraduate students.
What? But it says zero.
Well, it's because they put attendance. So, like, that's the question. So,
Well, that's the question that I have is, so they're both listed as radio.com monthly license, but this
they
one
put it in for-
doesn't have the president's name and the cost is $6,000. This one does have the president's name and the cost is $3,580.
so what does their executive summary say?
Yeah, the executive summary is what you need.
It must be for like equipment.
Yep, it's for a radio site.
The last time we did this was 2 years ago. And it had enough like the committee kind of like notion. But I don't remember the months and I don't remember if their stuff was on here or not.
And
For which year?
2 years ago,
2 years ago when Carla was chair, I sat on
And I'm not giving that for you.
Carla was sure back again now to the votes.
So we can't assume the other people at bottom top at once, so how are we supposed to assume attendance? Because for all the other folks that were ordering big supplements, we gave them only up to the number of the attendance of the club.
Nobody can attend a website.
Yeah, it's a radio show.
Yeah,
can attend
but
with
he
it.
has a point.
But people, I mean, I think it's, how many people are gonna be using that equipment to make the thing, right?
I don't even have a number.
The problem is that WMBC is under the Catholic classification of media on campus, but it's not a chartable.
Yeah. So it's basically their entire operating.
They also, you need to take into consideration in your other info that this would be used for or that materials, this is for a 12-month cost, not just a semester and it's monthly payments.
Does WMBC have a advisor?
Do they or should they are two different answers?
That's what they used to.
Let me double check. They think that they do, but I'm positive that they don't.
Because I'd like to try and look at some of the shifting to a point where
I think that's what we struggled with the last, past year with,
because I think something about their license had expired or something.
No, well, they
Something
were,
happened, they didn't produce for the second semester.
they were using the software that someone else created for them. And then they had problems with that. There were some relationship
No, they don't have
partnership issues amongst members and graduating students, and then, they couldn't use the software that the former member created for them. And now they're trying to get out of that game.
How did they get that
On the website.
They said they
The
use the
website-
monthly pricing list.
But I don't know, maybe I'm not interpreting the website correctly, because it says trial, but then it also says like 490, like bronze, silver, and
No, this is for you, this is,
But
Did you
then,
look at is this university?
yeah, that's what I wanted to try to do, and it just says, kind of wait for the community,
maybe they got a quote.
yeah.
I don't know which used to it.
From all of them.
And Scott's question right at the table, maybe even fund.
How hungry can just for that?
They didn't ask for it
I mean, isn't this like
in 17.
the QMBC thing about it's essential to the club or not?
The difference with UMBC is they were a new organization.
WMB something else has.
And
Options.
which other statement are we looking at? The 350 or?
That, I don't even know the answer to that, to be perfectly honest. That's why we're trying to get some kind of. Alright, so here are options moving forward. Option one is that we pick one of these two, whichever one we believe it is, and fund it. Option two is that we don't fund it all, considering that their estimated undergraduate attendance is 0.
How would you guys choose to fund the next if you don't know how many people are considering that we can only fund another $33 a person? Like, how do you go about doing number one?
So the workaround around that would be, even though they've listed the estimated undergraduate attendance as 0, we could theoretically do it as people who listen in are technically attending the radio broadcast.
So how do you get that?
Yeah, I get that.
Is there a way to look?
We don't.
So now they
track
can
it.
include it.
Sure.
They can track it, but I don't know if they have that.
And they do not submit their information. But that would be, if the decision to fund them is, like, if you guys do decide to fund them, then that would be a justification for why we funded over the UMBC undergraduate. But it's still
I think if you get into this, you were gonna have some definite pushback from the other groups that asked a lot for a lot and specifically equipment based. And that you're not staying in the same lane.
We can
Because
only do two.
the argument that this is necessary for their club to survive is the same with Baja and Snowmobile and those other groups that need equipment because they need that stuff for their group as well.
Alright. Then, we'll be zeroing out WMBC. Are there any objections? There are no objections. At least we get hit with the Zane, if you could put it on your list of priorities to kind of, since UMBC stands as semi-media, find out if you can find a way for them to look around to get other sources of funding, or in terms of just finding a stable place for them to get something that's not finance for it. Don't know if you can, but maybe just put on your list of things to kind of look over this semester. Yeah, because we can't fund them as is, but since they are technically like a source of media, just seeing if there's anything that you can do on your end.
I'd like to motion to reopen discussion on food allergy awareness because I feel there was an arbitrary cut to their declarations.
Yeah, you haven't made a decision on QMBC yet.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, we're gonna deny the motion from now and move instead to reopen discussion to UMBC, that way we can finish out all of this stuff before we go back and start reevaluating. Are there any objections? We will get to that food allergy, I promise. But for now, UMBC's. So for UMBC, actually, let me hear your thoughts first before I speak.
They have an executive session, sorry.
Scott, if you want to get your thoughts first, we're gonna just go around it. Yeah, I have some drinks.
No, I wouldn't make it sorry.
Elise, what are your thoughts on?
I want to hear yell already.
Oh, you can't open that at all.
Well, it's, how many years ago was that club?
It's, so,
About one.
they, last year was kind of like their first full swing year.
And then like, how
Were
long?
they funded enough?
Yes.
So the agreement with them was that the conversation that happened, and Scott, Zane, candidates, if I'm missing things or saying things wrong, please correct me. Essentially was that we understand your new organization and we will help you right now. And initially it was just supposed to be for that first semester and it ended up being the whole year, but that they had to find other ways to fund for themselves because the finance board kind of viewed these as general body meetings, not just events that finance board normally does. So usually the finance board is funding events that are like one-offs or annual or, you know, as you've been seeing, not their weekly, bi-weekly events or purpose, if that makes sense. So the agreement was that they would find other ways to fundraise to pay for their, what's the word I'm looking for, daily operations.
My counter to that when it was presented is, these are each individual events, their general body meetings are 12 to 1 or 12 to 1. This is like, would be no different than funding like a workshopping series or other events that we've already went through in this list. Yeah, so if we're paying for like workshopping series or bi-weekly meetings,
So
this is the same thing.
How have they done on like getting that outside funding? Like, do you have any record of if they've actually like gotten?
I mean, it doesn't seem like it. Coming back. They've been coming back for almost everything, so.
Okay, so I think if the agreement was that they would at least try to get some kind of outside funding, but they haven't held up to that and made the deal then. I'm not sure what our, if we actually need to fund them, like.
Well, each finance board is its own, and this would be holding this to like a different standard than like a workshopping series or other clubs that are requesting for food for each of their events weekly.
But when you quoted Daniel last week, I agree with you on some clubs need to have some skin in the game. And if their agreement last year was that we'll try and find some outside funding, I think it's fair to hope we do that.
Yeah, also, I think your thoughts as well.
I mean, I agree with, like, because we did, like, for the Jewish learning connection, we did the weekly, that was like twice a week classes.
And we did not fund food for it, just dining wear.
Oh.
And just in case, so I'm.
Did you go back on the?
I mean, I don't know, I'm looking at it right now and you guys just have, it's just $60 for dining wear, nothing for food.
But yeah, and that's a good.
Did we do any?
I think that the difference is like,
The new,
and I don't care either way which way you go. The difference is that Jewish Learning Connection
Primary.
is giving food as a part, UMBC is using food.
yeah, like it needs it.
Right, so.
It's like the
granted,
equivalent
also,
with-
I said you could teach people how to cook and not have to buy food.
But like, and so like the equivalent for like Jewish Learning Connection would be if they were paying their weekly speaker, like that would be the equivalent of paying for food for UMBC. Not that we get into that business, but like pretending that, you know what I mean? The equivalent would be their speakers or like their content is what's being paid for essentially.
I mean, like, as a combination, like, I understand the point where it's like, they did sort of make this agreement, and we already, like, went another semester funding them when we were originally not going to. Do we have to, like, why don't we talk about partial funding, like, why is it, and then, like, they, like, that's a compromise. We got.
It's an
You
option,
agree to do
but we're
that?
starting to get into the ground of that discussion, and people are saying the same things over and over again, so.
The agreement is also like kind of weird. I think that's still kind of undue scrutiny on them even last year. I don't think that was the right decision, and we still funded them last year.
Make the same argument for Bach on SAE too.
That's $33 a head. That's a part of the budgetary sections.
But
But
That's to the extent that it's necessary.
We funded them last year. We're not funding them as much.
does anyone have anything to do to add to this discussion?
What's their total amount of their costing for all their events? We just, is it?
They have to about their
I feel like these are cheap.
74 plus 108 plus 76 plus 5.
Oh, is it
There's 10 of
774?
these things, so
It's
on
774.
average.
So have your own individual reasons as to why you vote one way or the other. You're all allowed to have some. You don't have to come to consensus about, well, we're gonna vote yes because of this, and we're gonna vote no because of that. You're all allowed to have your own individual reasons.
We're gonna go under vote soon, I just wanted to know if anyone had anything new to add to the discussion. Now that we've put it on the table, everyone has an informed opinion before the vote.
I just need a reminder as to why they're not GPM meetings.
They're not GBM meeting because there's a separate GBM meeting that they do have that is designated as their GBM meeting. This is not an association with that. Or I'm not gonna say not association, but not the same kind of place. So our options, from what I've heard so far from the table, are either fully funding it, partially funding it, which in this case would be a 50%, if there are no objections to that, and not funding it at all. Any vote that gets a plurality would be the one that we go with. All in favor of fully funding this event, please raise your hand now, and this would count for all that. All in favor of funding at 50%, please raise your hand. And then all in favor of not funding at all, please raise your hand. So
2-2-1.
it's now 2-2-1.
Which one did you vote for, show or partial tiebreaker?
Yeah,
Yeah. So we're gonna unfortunately knock off the no funding, and it's gonna be a second round of voting, either 50% or full funding.
Did you not vote?
I don't think
She didn't vote.
I don't get to vote unless it's an official tiebreaker between two trustees.
Oh, no, it's always been written that it says that the chair does not have to vote.
Okay.
But now it says the chair cannot vote with the exception of two-thirds time.
Okay.
Alright, so all in
I'm
favor
safe.
of fully funding this event, please raise your hand now. All in favor of funding at 50%, please raise your hand now. 50% would be what we want. That's all.
Well, you wanted to do that, what the total is.
Justin,
Yo.
go through and put everything on the spreadsheet.
No, you have to end it.
Yeah, but on the
Oh,
main
crap.
summary page.
Oh, I don't have it individual.
No, you don't have any power. You have that.
I mean, well, I'll just ask you guys all, but you guys have that.
3705B.
For each event.
I'm still gonna have to that number. You still
Well, you
need
can see
to-
the breakdown.
Rental materials attached to this one. Does anyone care about that?
For which one?
On campus event.
For on-campus event 3, you guys want to do that, we will have some discussion for the rental materials on that.
Handle and slicing.
We can just
I'm guessing it's like something that they do now.
But they use turbos as space to cook.
yeah. So, looking at on-campus event number 3, the request is $16.99 of rental materials. 0 out or fully funded? Are there any objections to fully funded?
Any objections to cut?
No, any objections to fully funded?
What are they ranking?
Yeah, I'm for it.
Handle and
Alright, so you have an objection? Alright, so
Handle.
option table is 0 full.
I feel like they're buying that, $16.99.
Yeah.
That's a purchase price.
It says on Amazon.
So we're zeroing it out.
Yeah.
All in favor of zeroing out, please raise your hands now. All opposed? Alright, Scott, you ready to do a lot of math?
What's,
You think much of happening?
well, it's half minus $16.99.
Well, no, it's like it's half that total cost.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Sorry, we're gonna do that. 37.05, 27.02,
1 second, I. Next.
29.66,
47.87, 29.07, 72.45, 23.40, 35.67, 49.47.
Sorry, yeah,
That's our total. There was a motion on the floor to bring back up food allergy awareness. Is there a second?
Yeah, sure.
All right, the motion carries.
So we'll say, I'll understand why it's cut by 20 for arbitrary reasons.
All right,
It was just that the attendance was low.
so is
We
there,
didn't make any for any other declarations, so
Yeah.
I'm okay with.
since we're making a retroactive change, are there any objections to reopening debate for food allergy awareness? All right, is there a motion to change anything?
Yeah, to change to 20 to 40.
All right, motion to change. Is there a second?
I second.
All right, all in favor of changing the $20 to $40, please raise your hand now. All opposed? Motion carries. Are there any objections to this budget stated as is?
I don't really.
Here are no objections. Closing debate. Add additional $20 to their on-campus.
Oh, it's like you should open rock climbing club again. Rather than hold.
I'm changing temp to 200. Is it going up? Find UMBC.
5 years?
No, that's not an individual.
Rock climbing club, it's 78. Which one were you
What
on?
are you doing?
78 is table tennis.
No, it was mixed from request, rock climbing club is in round two.
It's not. I guarantee it is.
If we didn't come in that first class, then we
I
didn't
mean,
come
it
in.
was 1601, so it was.
It was 78 on the first request.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That was all equipment.
Yeah.
All right.
Catholic retriever is sick.
All right. There's a motion to reopen debate on Catholic retrievers. Do we have a second?
This is straight. Just like.
This is for like, if we're not, if we mix like rock climbing club and like
Yeah.
all the, like this
This is the
should
same
be
thing.
mixed as well.
We're just giving them equipment to use at all of their general hobbies.
All right.
So
Is there a motion to change?
I would zero that out.
Move to change the amount from 800 to 0 for decorations.
All right, do I have a second?
I say the
All right, all in favor, please raise your hands now. All opposed? Motion changed. Are there any objections to now closing debate for Catholic retrievers? So here, no objections, we are closing debate. Changing the 800 to 0.
Is there anything else I was mad about last time?
Well, you have come back to Engineers Without Borders as a comment.
Come back to. It sounds like
I'm
something I
gonna
would
resolve,
say.
I'm gonna resolve your 50% cut in food allergy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like to reopen debate with Engineers Without Borders?
I wrote something. I'm gonna figure out what I was mad about.
Do you mad, or is this just something that we said we would come
Our
back to?
charity gala.
Because it was,
It's a charity gala.
What other charity galas did we, there was one other besides, the Honor Council and WP, it was.
so I think this was more so a conversation because of the service piece. So that you're not funding service, but do you wanna be in the business of philanthropy? So charity galas are usually philanthropy. Does everyone know the difference of service and philanthropy?
Really. It's like,
Do you want me to explain it just for airspace? Okay, so service is more like the hours you're physically putting in. So, like new friends of yours goes to the home and helps and volunteers. Volunteerism is service. Philanthropy is usually financial based, so donations. Being philanthropic is more like, oh, we're gonna host this to raise money. So it's more so bringing in funds from other people, hosting an event to raise that money, whatever that is. Thank you. And service is more so the actual action of doing something versus hosting an event to raise money.
Personally, I would think it would be better to fund the service rather than the philanthropy because it's like something that's an experience that's benefiting UMBC students rather than philanthropy is basically we're giving them money so that in turn they can raise money for a cause, I guess. And that's not necessarily maybe something good, it's not necessarily like towards UMBC students.
It'll also be educational and that they're trying to raise awareness for a specific cause rather than money. So it could be like educational, kind of like a lecture type thing. That's what they're trying to say.
So, any debates reopened, or I'm gonna go ahead and move to close round 2.
And if he had something for Jewish Land Connection, I would just go through all the comments real quick and make sure we're not.
There's like something in relation to like consistency with the different.
For which one, Jewish Learning Connection?
Yeah.
I think that we had thought that we had, funded them for food.
We just funded them for dining.
Yeah, that's right.
Because there was who was doing the weekly Jesus Cafe? There was a question about consistency between that and Jesus Cafe.
But the thing is, the Jewish club, they were bringing their own food too. That's why we decided to keep dining around the table.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just solve it.
So I'm ready for round 3. How about like a 5-minute?
Yep. Alright. I move to close debate on round 2.
Section.
Alright, all in favor, please raise your hands now. Cool. All opposed? Alright.
Literal
Break
5
for
minutes.
5 minutes.
Literal 5
Yep.
5:14.
Should we stop the
You
stream?
have to.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Sure.